I know pé inú aláàjì ń ru ni náà jẹ́ kán sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ ibi tán ti sọ àwọn eye service lè pọ̀ ń bẹ̀ àwọn tálájì ò ní bẹ̀ ń ṣẹ́ tí ó fẹ́ ṣe eye service fàlájì tó wáyé pé àwọn ló máa hàmù ẹ pé aláàjì sọ pé bá díẹ̀ dà mí lẹ́gùn nù bí mo bá fọ lẹ́yìn kò léwọ̀ pé wọ́n slow àwọn slang yẹn pé torí mi pé is ready pé àwọn tí ń ṣe látijọ́ yìí táwọn ti ń gbójú eléyìí ní òfin ṣàṣemọ eléyìí làwọn òfin fi jófin eléyìí làwọn pé ibi tán dẹ̀ ti sọ gbogbo àwọn guys tó wà ń bẹ̀.
Yes, ó yẹ kí n play instrumental ni kí ni instrumental náà ìṣe náà kọ̀ǹgbà sọ kùtùkùáwù kí wọ́n á ní ká fọ̀dà máa flow lé lórí. Afouda bàbá àgbàlagbà ni guest mi léni, lawyer, comedian, broadcaster, podcaster. So correct?
I think so.
Èwo ni mi ò fi sí?
Fi ọ̀tọ̀ sí àti lèmi sí
ọ̀tọ̀ ni o ọ̀tọ̀ Afouda bàbá àgbàlagbà.
Thank you so much.
Real name Barrister Kayode Adeniyi Esquire. Bí àṣà aláyé wasabi you can inquire. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sàgbàlẹ̀ sọ.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ṣé ara lẹ́wà?
Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run.
Ṣọ́rọ̀ wa ò ní pọ̀ wáyé.
Wàá pọ̀ náà. Ara ẹ̀ náà.
Tóbi ti àwọn ìwọ̀n mo ti fẹ́
ọ̀rọ̀
mo ti fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ torí pé tá a ti mọ àjọ mọ́ra wa so ọ̀rọ̀ máa pọ̀. Ok, ẹ jẹ́ n bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. Ọmọ ìlú gangan.
Ọmọ Ìjómẹ̀sọ̀ ní Ìwájọwà local government.
Ìjómẹ̀sọ̀
ní Ìwájọwà local government. Ọ̀yọ́
state.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àwọn kan máa ń believe pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ọmọ Ọ̀fà Ìlọrin.
Tó bá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn parọ́ torí I was born and bred in Ọ̀fà.
Okay.
Ọ̀fà làwọn parents mi ń gbé dìsìn.
Okay.
And Ọ̀fà náà bí mi sí Adéọlá model school, Ọ̀fà grammar school. Gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá life mi Ọ̀fà ni. UI ló gbé mi padà sí Ìbàdàn.
Okay.
Láti gbà yẹn tí mo wá dára Ìbàdàn mo tún padà sílé náà ni.
Ẹ jẹ́ wo growing up yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe dàgbà. Ṣé ilé alákọ̀wé lẹ ti jáde ní àbílẹ̀?
Ilé alákọ̀wé la máa pè, of course ilé alákọ̀wé. My father is a teacher, French teacher, Monsieur Adeniyi. So mo wá sọ wọn pé kí n kàn ṣàwàdà pé family wa iṣẹ́ méjì ni tó bá ti ṣe French tó bá ti kọ́ French wà dẹ̀ ṣe business àyàwó torí ìlú wa súnmọ́ bọ́dà.
Okay.
So gbogbo àwọn tó bá ti ń dàgbà bẹ́ẹ̀ a máa kó nǹkan wọlé láti ibìkan sí ibìkan or kò lè ṣe French teacher. All my uncles, my aunties, everybody from my family tí wọ́n kọ́ jẹ́ own teach French ni wọ́n kọ́. So my dad also a French teacher ní Kwara, and of course my mom was a photographer. I lost my mom last year. That was November last year. She was a Lady Tola photo Ọ̀fà ní Ọ̀fà.
Popular.
Yes, she was quite popular. Lady Tola photo ní Ọ̀fà, Kwara State, Nigeria. Kò pé méjì. But then, like I said, I lost her last year, November. So my mom is a photographer. She's not formally schooled, but my dad is a teacher. Anyway, one teacher, alákọ̀wé àwọn teacher àwọn fi ń ṣeré láti ìgbà yẹn. So and then growing up too, my parents gave us the best of education they could afford.
Chain number one.
Èmi nìkan mi ò ní position lé wa. I'm not the first son, I'm not the first born, I'm not the last born. Third born ni mi, second boy. Wọ́n kàn fi mí ṣọ́ọ̀kì àárín kan ni. But then, so that was growing up basically. So like I said, my parents tried to give us the best they could afford. Anybody tó bá dàgbà ní Ọ̀fà Kwara sọ pé Adéọlá model school was the best primary school gbà yẹn. It was private school and everything. So àlọ́ Adéọlá àtàlẹ́ tí kò Adéọlá báyìí natural progression of our grammar school ni. Of our grammar school is still also a very prestigious, the first grammar school in the northern Kinaman Kwefuangba, you know. So I went to our grammar school and then graduated, finished from our grammar school before I entered UI.
Okay, so law le fẹ́.
Yeah.
Law le de ṣe. Why law?
It's a very beautiful question for me because growing up, Dr. Momang Pariwo, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. In fact, I told my parents I want to be a doctor. I'm going to have GS3. I was sure lọ Èkó. Lọ́dọ̀ àwọn cousin mi àwọn àríṣe lÉkòó. Gbẹ̀yìn a máa wo kàkàkí ò kí ń yé wa. Because wọ́n kàn máa rojọ́, ẹ jẹ́ àwo kàtó, ẹ jẹ́ àwo nǹkan mi, wọ́n kàn ṣáà máa rojọ́. So this particular day, they brought a lawyer. The man was well dressed, shoe and shine, tie, black jacket, everything, dúró dáadáa. Èèyàn kan ló fine tó dúró dáadáa báyìí. I think I want to be. Meanwhile, before that time, my mom, like I said, is a photographer. Àwọn photographer wa ní court case kan ní Ọ̀fà. Wọ́n wá ní lọ́ọ̀yà kan, Káyọ̀dé lórúkọ, Káyọ̀dé Ọlátókè. Òun lọ́ọ̀yà àwọn ẹgbẹ́ onífọ́tò. So shop mom sí mi ò dẹ̀ jìnnà sí court. Bàbá tí ń bọ̀ láti court, wọ́n wá darí sí shop mom sí mi. Wọ́n yẹn ń sọ òyìnbó. Káyọ̀dé Ọlátókè is my name. Káyọ̀dé Ọlátókè. So wọ́n máa ń package ọwọ́ Káyọ̀dé Ọlátókè yẹn bí Ọlọ́run. So mo ti ń admire me. I never up till now me rí picture Káyọ̀dé me ẹni tó jẹ́ Káyọ̀dé Ọlátókè, but I shall know that name. So gbà tí mo tún wá wo kàkàkí yẹn tí mo wá rí lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn, the way he talks, the way they were listening to him, and I just made up my mind that I want to be like this man. I don't know the name of the man. I just made up my mind that I want to be like this man. So gbà tí mo padà délé báyìí tí mo sọ fún sí mi pé mi ṣe doctor mọ́, lọ́ọ̀yà mo fẹ́ ṣe. He was so pained. But no, when you go to science class, o lè ṣe engineer, o lè di kíní, àníṣe mo ní lọ́ọ̀yà ni mo fẹ́ ṣe o. And my dad is that kind of person. He will ask you certain questions. Wọ́n wá ti pé dà pé ọ̀pọ̀ ìmọ̀ nǹkan tó fẹ́. Ọlọ́run á ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ni. And they gave me the chance then. I entered art class, did all I could in Offa Grammar School, and then I finished from Offa Grammar School. Mi kọ́kọ́ fún mi ń lọ.
Okay.
Because first jam tí mo kọ́ mo ní 229 kò wọ law ní UI. I always wanted UI. I wanted ABU initially. My popsi told me, Mọ̀yánlé Hausa o, tó bá any school tó bá fẹ́ lọ tó wá ti kọjá Southwest, má pè mí sí o. So I just had to settle for, I had to change my mind to UI. So UI ló wà lọ́kàn mi. So that time they said 229 ò wọ law. So then I did IJMB at Kwara State College of Education, Oro. And I had 11 points out of 16. But by the time I tún dé UI, wọ́n ní wọ́n gba IJMB pé ABU area ló organize ẹ̀ pé UI ò kí n recognize it. So I had to write JAMB again. And then writing JAMB the second time, I scored 265. And that was when I eventually entered UI to study law. Okay. Meanwhile, along the line, mo ti lose interest in law.
Okay.
Between that line, because mo ti ń kọrin, mo ń ṣe àwọn kankan báyìí, mo ti lose interest in law. But not ìgbéraga. My secondary school is a very competitive place. Wọ́n ti máa ń pa àwọn math class ọ̀mọ̀wé. And I always want to fight off that time.
Gbogbo school náà ṣe máa ń fi òpin art class máa ń relegate wọn.
Yes. In fact, when I was in SS1, some of my teachers tried to convince me. I remember Mrs. Alaya, our biology teacher, say, kò yẹ kó wà ní art class, science ló yẹ kó wà, ó mọ̀wé ju art class lọ. But the day I told her I want to be a lawyer. And one day I sọ pé tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe law, mo gbọ́dọ̀ pass literature, mo gbọ́dọ̀ pass government. That was when she realized that, what I put my mom, and then she left me. So there's always that tag. So what I'm in secondary school, which university are you going? Money, come and look for me in UI. I'll be studying law. So ìgbà tí interest in law yẹn ti wá your law come me, so to speak. But don't tí mi bá fi wá lọ mọ́. Àwọn etí tó ti gbọ́ àlọ kò ní gbọ́ àbọ̀ pé mo change mind mi. Wọ́n á rò pé torí pé mi lè wọlé ní after first attempt ló jẹ́ kí n change mind mi. So that was why I said ìgbéraga ni or pride ni pé I will have to enter for this law. And then I thank God that I tried it the second time, and then I gained the admission to study law. And Bashiwo UI nìyẹn.
So easy.
Kò easy o. Not the exam part. After the exam, because when I went to UI to make inquiries, when it cut off was 275. That was what I was told. For the second year, the second time, 275. Meanwhile, I scored 265. Mo gba sẹ́bẹ̀lẹ̀ àdúrà Olúwa o. Tí n bá lọ any prayer meeting báyìí admission pé Olúwa kò sí tó lè ṣe 275 ó súnmọ́ra wọn. And then I now had one of my uncles, Professor John Ademola Yakubu. He was a former dean at the Faculty of Law. But then he was sick. He had kidney issue. So he was out of the system. And mo lè pé 10 bá wà in the system. Because the person ta pè tí popsi mi pé ó ní tí Kanayan Yakubu wà ní kó wà fully fit ó wà in school ni kò sí tó ní kọ́ ọmọ yẹn máa wọlé. Wọ́n ní pé wọ́n ní pé no ó kàn wà ní sick leave ni pé ó lè resume. So my prayer was strategic. I was not praying pé Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí n ra admission. Professor John Ademola Yakubu ó gbọ́dọ̀ kú, ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbádùn, ó gbọ́dọ̀ resume. That was my prayer. And that was exactly what God did for me.
He came
back. Mo kàn sọ fún daddy ni pé jẹ́ kí n lọ sí Ìbàdàn, jẹ́ kí n tẹ̀ lọ wo kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ faculty kí n lọ. Mo kàn débẹ̀ ni. Something just said I should ask of him. John Ademola Yakubu, and they showed me his office. And I knocked the door. I said, from Ijio. Láti Ijio, ọmọlé máyẹ̀. I just introduced myself. Pé a ti pè yín gbà kan ní ìgbà tí mo wà leave yẹn. No problem. Follow me. Àfi tá a dé faculty office. Kí lorúkọ ẹ? Adéníyì Káyọ̀dé. Just entered. After a while, he just came out, said, don't worry, get ready for your admission letter. He said, nígbà tán mú 275 tán. The quota tán ní ó sì ṣẹ́kù. So they had to be bringing it down. Okay. So according to him, ṣé wọ́n padà mú dé 262. Kan tó fill the quota tí wọ́n ní, and I had 265. So he just told me to, and that was how I gained admission to UI. Unfortunately, I think he eventually died when I was in 300 or 400 level. Okay. He eventually died. But then, God used him for me greatly. Mo ṣáà ṣe wọ UI ní 2005. Now,
ìwé tí wọ́n máa ń kà ní law yẹn ó pọ̀ gan.
Ó pọ̀.
Ẹ̀dẹ̀ tí wọ́n prepared fún.
I've always been an A student. I've always been a brilliant student. I've always been brilliant. And throughout my primary, secondary, although brilliance yàtọ̀ sí brilliance, so àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé igi làǹkọ ìwé làwọn ọlọ́run tó yẹ pé wọ́n gbé ju first nìkan náà máa ń gbà, àwọn kan wà bẹ́yẹn àmọ́ àwa first second third second fourth lẹ́kọ̀ọ̀kan ẹ̀kan mo gbé 7th rí wọ́n lè fẹ́ lu mi àti pọ̀ sí mi sọ orí burúkú ọ̀rọ̀ sí mi jọ yẹn pé o gbé 7th how? And but then first second third bá ṣe máa ń gbé nìyẹn tí àfipárí. So I was not what's it called, I was quite brilliant. So when I entered UI, like I said, I've lost interest. Then my interest was entertainment. But in that entertainment that I was doing, it was just for me entertainment. So it was not really, but I know that I must pass. That one is sacrosanct. And I make sure that I never failed. Throughout my stay in UI, I may never, I think I had some 7 points. We used 7 points in UI. I have few 7 points, all my GES 7 points, then few 7 points in law courses, but I never had a carryover. I never had 1 point. But see that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Without our college senior. Okay. And that was how I managed it all through.
Now, anything current before getting admission? Yeah. So entertainment is only. You don't even know hip hop, have you?
Man, rap ni. Rapper ni. Skydust.
Lórúkọ
tí mo fúnra mi gbà yẹn Skydust.
Ṣé lè rap there?
Ó sì máa ra lẹ́kọ̀ọ̀kan o. Ó máa lé o.
Ẹ bó ti ẹ̀ ṣe line mẹ́rin ẹ̀ máa.
Kí ni mo fẹ́ rántí orin kan, Betrayed Trust. Ojú ń tì mo máa ń tijú gan. Bá ṣe wo mi ojú ń tì mí. Alákọ̀ọ́ tó yẹ fọrún lẹ́nìí ojú máa ń tì mí gan. But I rap gbà yẹn. And I think I recorded like 1 or 2 demos. Then as a rapper. I ṣe bákan.
Ẹ máa ń lọ gig lọ play?
No. My own rap was the computer center where I learned computer. Mr. Yomi Adeniyi was one of my father's junior colleague. Computer teacher school, tip of me one guy. Okay. I don't know one coming. So he has that stuff on the system that you can give you beats, you can rap on it. So man rap, man record that I'm in mo sha man fi ṣe gbo yen. But I dey school tán wá ní pé demo. A dem ma lọ studio lọ record demo mo dem gbọ́ owó tán la ma ní. Èmi ò lówó demo. Gbogbo nǹkan tó yẹ forin lẹ́nìyàn, tó yẹ fi rap lẹ́ngbà yẹn tí mo wọ UI. I didn't have the money for all it takes. But like I said, I wanted entertainment.
But in UI, as a law student, change entertainment, they have a face, you were straight up.
Nah. From the very first year, I have been in entertainment. But then I was doing, what's it called? I was doing stand-up comedy. I started stand-up comedy in 200 level.
So, Bonnie, comedy is too early.
Okay. For me, I have a gift. And that gift is I can do anything I set my mind to. If I want to rap, if I want to sing Fuji, it's just a matter of time. I believe I will sing Fuji. So for me, I wanted fame. I loved fame. Fame.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I loved fame. And what can I do to be famous? Entertainment, that was one of the things that really brought music in the first place. And everything. But what else can I do? I fell in love with radio. And then I was making inquiry, how do I get on radio?
Right from school, Abi?
Before I even got on, before I got to UI, I've fallen in love with radio too. So how do I get on radio? How do I get on radio? How do I get on radio? Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? Báwo mo ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? In fact, in my 100 level, I wrote proposals. Funny, the matter of proposal anything, mo máa ń rẹ́rìn. Mo kọ sí DHL, mo kọ sí Dunlop tire, mo kọ àwọn letter. I am the third boy in my family. My parents kìnìkan. I want to express my talent. Please support my kìnìkan. The funniest thing is pé tí wọ́n wá mú débẹ̀, ẹnu gate máa ti fún security tí wọ́n ti turn back. Màá délé màá máa gbàdúrà.
The security àkọ́jù sí ibi kan.
Màá délé màá máa gbàdúrà pé Olúwa jẹ́ kó pè mí. Olúwa jẹ́ kó pè mí. Can you imagine?
Lẹ́tà tí ó kúrò
lọ́dọ̀ security. Ní ìsìn wọn pé àwọn ọ̀yà kan wà wọ́n pé irú ọmọ wo ló ń gọ̀ báyìí. But then that was all I believed in. And after my first year in UI, me and Lole, because I've dropped a lot of those letters. Mo ṣe àwọn pé wọ́n á pè mí, wọ́n á pè mí, wọ́n á pè mí. Wọ́n pè mí. Wọ́n pè mí rárá àti rárá. So I started asking around. I want to get on radio. I want to get on radio. And then somebody said something, said, kí ló ń ṣe? When I met that woman, she was from FRCN. She was a member of our church. I was attending Living Spring Chapel. Her name was Barbara Okorowa. She was with Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria. He said, because one of my pastors introduced me to him, that this is my guy that you like to. And I said, what do you do? I said, what do you do? Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí radio. He said, hey, as what? I said, as a guest. He said, no, you can't just be a guest. He said that you are a musician, or you are a comedian, or you are doing something. That's when I can invite you. Say, musician or comedian.
Kò tí ì sí analyst ń gbà yẹn.
Kò tí ì sí, I'm not able to see anything like analyst. And besides, no any analyst, kò sí mo fẹ́ analyse. Mi mọ politics, mi mọ football, mi mọ anything. I just wanted to get on radio. And I said, no, it doesn't work that way. He said that you are a musician, you are a comedian, then I can now have a reason to bring you on board. I said, okay. Èèyàn lọ tẹ̀ra mọ́ music yẹn. But wọ́n á gbé kẹ̀kẹ́ wáyé tán ní pé music ilé olówó ni. Right pé comedy ìṣòwò máa ṣèbí kí n ti pààyàn lẹ́rìn ni. Mi ò dẹ̀ nídìí demo. Kọ́kọ́ fún mi microphone ní kí n dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀. Dáì kò lè mọ̀ ó yẹ kí n lè ṣe comedy. And then I started putting my heart to it. I've always have funny people around me. My mom is a sit-down comedian, not a stand-up. And my
sit-down comedian.
And my senior brother. In fact, if anybody should hear that anybody in my family is doing comedy, I'll be the last person on their mind because I was timid, I was shy. Mi ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ ẹnu mi up to now. But my senior brother, ọmọ àwọn pè wọ̀ kí lu mọ́. Anyway, tá bá ti dé báyìí, èmi á kàn jókòó sí ìkan, we really want to making everybody laugh. Ara máa ní mímí tí mo jókòó, ojú á máa tì mí. Òun ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ o, but èmi lójú á máa tì pé ṣé ojú òun ti eléyìí ni. So, a lot of the jokes I started with are things I've heard from my brother. Mo ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ náà díẹ̀. And then, luckily for me, I was a member of my fellowship, like I said, in my school. And I was the organizing secretary. So organizing secretary, I'll be the one to say the next thing is offering, the next one. So mo ti ń face the crowd there. Crowd were not be 4 for 5, but at least I'll be standing in front of people to talk. So when eventually I made up my mind I want to go into stand-up comedy, I told my pastor, my campus fellowship pastor, Peter Emmanuel, who happens to be the son of our general overseer, Pastor Femi Emmanuel. Okay. He was the pastor of the campus then. I want to stand-up comedy. He said, he was shocked because say what to man to do, what to can sorry. Stand-up comedy, oh my difficult, late. He said I can't do it. He said, Then he prayed with me. And he said, I can do it. And I go, okay. And I prayed. I fasted. Funnily enough, if you grow up in Kwara State, ìgbà tí mo dé Ìbàdàn mo tó mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan jẹ́ pidgin English. Okay. I only know broken.
Broken yàtọ̀ sí pidgin.
Ó yàtọ̀.
Kí ni yàtọ̀?
Okay, Faz. Jennifer, mutilated English, okay. Only broken English. Okay. But pidgin English is an hybrid of the lingua franca and the local dialect. Okay. That is why I tell you, if you get to Liberia, I don't need pidgin tiwọn. Táwọn bá dẹ̀ ń sọ tiwọn, ó máa rí bákan létí tiyín nítorí pé àwọn local dialect tiwọn ni wọ́n á move wọnú English. The same thing with Ghana. Àwọn Chale, all those ones, is their own local dialect that they have infused into English. The same way if somebody from Ibadan, I speak pidgin on radio. My own pidgin, Tara Wori bá gbọ́, I will pay which kind of thing this one they talk. It won't make sense to them. Just the way an elderly person here in Yoruba land, tán bá gbọ́ real Wafi pidgin, they may not be able to follow. Yeah. Because it will be too, it's their own dialects mixed with English. So, when people say pidgin is from Warri, pidgin is from, I say it's not from anywhere. It's a combination of anybody. But in Nigeria, because in the south, there are pockets of languages. Not that they have a vast. Now, for example, in Delta State, we have Urobo, Isekiri, we have Ijo in the same state, and there are different languages, although it's maybe similarities. So to bring everybody together, they have to adopt the national language, the lingua franca, or spice up with different kilorukwe. So that man saw Brosie, Yonlem, but because they are the one that were predominantly in comedy, we believe that was the standard pidgin. But when I wanted to start pidgin on radio, I had to sit back and do a little research. I realized that I don't need to speak pidgin like, what's it called? Pidgin like people from Warri. Because my people here in Ibadan will not be able to relate with it. Before I came on radio in Ibadan, so many people were doing pidgin. Some people were doing pidgin, but they were doing it with that Warri. So Ibadan people could not really relate with it. But when I started my own, and I'm now, instead of mixing it with foreign, when I say foreign now, I mean languages from other tribes, I was code mixing English with Yoruba, and then I blended it. So I little wonder when I started getting feedbacks that grandma me like a program with say grandma in love school, she be pidgin, grandma you go now. But pidgin ni mo sọ, but grandmas, the grandpas, they could only understand because they want to mix in more English. So you can't mix the Edo or Delta, they won't be able to identify with me. So I think that was one of my own, I understood that early. And that was one of my own selling points. So like I said, when I wanted to start comedy, okay, pidgin na man so. Kina èdè ton sọ yàtọ̀ sí English, wọ́n ní pidgin na pé. Èmi ò gbọ́ pidgin o, èmi ò mọ̀ bó ṣe ń sọ o. Then I deliberately started learning it. Okay. When I wanted to start, there were two comedians I know. One in my school, one in my church.
Kò sí àwọn top comedians níbẹ̀.
Kò sí wọn bẹ́ẹ̀.
Kò sí Alibaba, kò sí Basketman, kò sí
I've heard of them once in a while. Timba go Night of 1,000 Laughs, but I never even have a full glimpse of maybe copying them or doing stuff around them. I checked the people in my locality, the people around me, and I had just two people. Laugh Up in UI, Thompson Lawyer in Living Spring Chapel. Okay. That's my church. It's the comedian that was reigning in my church. And Laugh Up, although it was Laugh Up and Suki in UI. There was another person, I can't remember, Oboy or something. It was in vet medicine. It was quite funny, but it was not, it just, because on events, come and make people laugh. It was not doing it full time, like Laugh Up and Suki. But Suki too was more of a director and drama and all those acting on stage. He was not more of a stand-up person like Laugh Up. So Laugh Up was the stand-up proper that I know around me. So like I said, when I wanted to start, I did my own research and everything. I called Laugh Up. I got his number. And I called him and said, sir, my name is Kiniko. I want to be a stand-up comedian. And I would like to be following you. Now I said, say, you know what, you can follow me. You can learn from me, but you cannot be following me because you are in law. I'm in theater. Our schedules are different. Our faculties are different. He shall explain some things to me. So you can come close, but there won't be chance that we are always together, which I understood perfectly. When I called Thompson Lawyer, I said, let's see. See me in church on Sunday. I saw him, I explained myself. I said, no worry, I will introduce you to this person. I will introduce you to this person. And that was how...
Were you funny?
I was funny.
You were funny?
Yes, I was funny.
Really?
Really, really, really funny. Yes, really, really funny. Okay. When I wanted to start, the very first performance I had was at my faculty. We're having that was the December 2026. It was our variety night / cultural night. Of course, I didn't give all my best because I was nervous. It was a very reality of law is big, and people were drunk on palm wine, misbehaving, but I was still able to pull out something from there. And then immediately after that was our spring festival at my fellowship on campus, and it was like 3 days. So I was on stage first, second, third day. And it was at that spring festival that our pastor that we invited from town, Pastor Tunde Kolade, he came with his PA, Pastor Demola Aderito. Pastor Demola Aderito is now the Honorable Commissioner for Environment in Oyo State. He was the PA of Pastor Tunde Kolade that year. So it was one that called me that, you did very well. You know what? We'll be having singles program in church. We want you to come and perform there. And then that was how I got out of the campus. And first performance outside campus was in church. And because of how I started, church in performance in Mitipoju. Church. From my church to other churches started inviting faculty, department. But then, in UI, we comedians in UI then were many. We were like 14. My contemporaries in UI were like 14. So everybody who were then who. You hold your fellowship, your faculty, your department.
And one later became big names or known names.
A lot of them. Some of them are maybe not fully mainstream like the popular basketball, but there's Tomiwa Sage Black. Tomiwa is in Lagos now. He's a fantastic MC. I think he still does his stand-up comedy. Mr. Rain.
Okay.
Mr. Rain was one of my contemporaries. We have Laugh for Jesus, but it's now Sheikh of comedy. It's now in Dubai. We have Noel Nube, we have MC Boma, 60 meters, Rems, who again? Rems, I can't remember some people's name, but we were quite a number of us back then in UI that were comedians, MCs, so everybody just scattered doing their own thing. And that was how, but like I said, I was fun.
Okay, so ní gbogbo ọdún mélòó lẹ́yìn lawyers man 5 years.
5 years.
Okay, gbogbo 5 years bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ràn ní kò affect academics abi?
No, like I said, throughout my stay in school, I never had a carryover, and I never failed any course, so I never had to repeat any course.
Law school nko?
Law school, yes. Law school was another beautiful experience for me. In fact, law school was one of the things that really wanted to convince me to stay longer in comedy. I finished 2010. I gained admission to law school that 2010. I couldn't go to law school that 2010, financial reasons. But then I could later go in 2011. 2011, Timo Delon, I was posted to Abuja again. Because the previous year, I was posted to Abuja too. But like I said, I could not go that year. But 2011, I was lucky to still be posted to Abuja. And then if anybody that was in Abuja campus in Buhari in 2011/2012 will tell you that there was a MC, they didn't call me Afouda that time. I think it was Kayode or Afouda. I can't remember. Afouda, yes, I used Afouda on campus. It was at NYC camp that they call me MCK. But then it was Afouda. So, pararara. If they don't know me, I know more. They will know pararara at law school in Buhari because I really made my mark. In fact, I did shows at the Nigerian law school, and that was why many people thought I would fail. Many people believe I would fail. In fact, one of our student, Dean of Student Affairs, when I went for clearance, I said, you passed? I said, sir, are you expecting me to fail? I go pass now. I know what I did do. I had comedy shows. I had my monthly comedy shows at Elim Top. Elim Top was a new hotel that time. I was just opened in front of the law school. I had my monthly comedy show. I performed then I was attending Winners Chapel at Buhari. I performed in church. In fact, I recorded an album, my one and only comedy album. I recorded the comedy album while I was in law school. I featured MC Shakara, Cali Bird of blessed memory. I featured Laugh Up. I featured Thompson Lawyer. And Bumi Davis too had a drop on the album. It was 4 tracks of comedy, like interview, because that's what I was doing on radio, Stress Buster on Diamond FM. So I just replicated that on that album, and then I have 4 music tracks, combine everything together, and I did the album launching right there on campus during my 10 months in law school. I think I had 4 shows, and I launched 1 album. It was a whole lot. I engaged myself fully, both academically and extracurricular activities.
So, ibo ni Afouda ti wọlé? Ṣé Diamond FM?
The name?
Yes, Afouda.
No, Afouda has always, like I said, I was deliberate. I deliberately chose Afouda because Afouda was my family name.
Okay.
I love history. I love stories. So I asked, Kilo Nshele, we traveled to my hometown sometimes in 2001 or 2002, and I met my grandpa. And then his name is Pa Obed Afouda. in Ijo. It was quite a popular man in my year's compound in Ijo. Grandpa mi kọ́kọ́ ní upstairs nílùú wa ńgbà yẹn. Grandpa mi ló kọ́ ní upstairs nígbà yẹn. People's Bank tenant wa ni wọ́n nígbà yẹn lábẹ́ ilé wa ńgbà yẹn. So I met him and he told me the history of Afouda. That Afouda gangan ní orúkọ family wa. But he changed it to his own personal name, which was Adeniyi. He changed his family name to his own name. So my dad is Adebayo Adeniyi. Okay. Is my grandpa's first name, Nanlu as surname. So I asked him.
Instead of Adebayo Afouda.
Yes. Or my aunt that up to date is still living in Benin Republic. Her maiden name till she got married was Afouda. So
she Nigerian origin, Afouda.
Nigerian origin, but not Nigerian origin. Nigerian but not Nigerian. How? Afouda is a derivative of Afonja.
Afonja? Okay.
But the history my grandpa told me was that Afonja was invited to serve in Benin Republic as a mercenary. The big Afonja family that we know in Ilorin. One of them, they were mercenaries in that family. One of them was invited to serve to come and fight for the community. Because the community, they had issues, communal clash with another community. So they brought him in as a mercenary. And he came in, he fought. So he came, eventually fought, and then they now begged him to stay and not go again. But in fact, they will make him a king. So he will become the king, and then after him, the king will keep rotating. So they make him one of the ruling families. So the other ruling families, they still take their turn. But then he himself also became one of the ruling, that family, Afonja's family became one of the ruling family. But because of language deficiency, they could not pronounce Afonja very well. Afonja now mispronounce. Don't put Afouda. Okay. So if you now ask them what is the meaning of Afouda, they will say a warrior prince.
Okay.
He's a warrior, but they made him a prince. So it's like I said, it's a mutilated version of Afonja, but they now ascribed a meaning to it. So it became Afouda, and the meaning of Afouda now is a warrior prince. Mm-hmm. I met somebody a few years later, like 10 years ago, who was also Afouda. And somebody said, I know your cousin, said Afouda. But when I asked him the history he was told, he said the meaning of Afouda is stranger.
Okay.
So that really corroborated the story I was told that, okay, some people might see that, okay, Afouda, stranger, but we preferred warrior prince. That's But
the warrior prince was actually a stranger too.
Was actually a stranger in that place, but he became a royal family. Up till date, my family is still one of the royal ruling families in Sabe, in Benin Republic. Okay. But like I said, the origin of his name is from Nigeria. Okay. But now Afouda itself we can say it is from Benin Republic.
Okay, so you started radio with Diamond FM?
Nope. I started radio with Splash FM.
Really?
Yeah. I started radio with Splash FM. I made efforts, like I said, trying to get on radio. I wrote all those funny proposals. In fact, when Splash FM came, I can boldly say I was one of the few people that first submitted proposal. The name of the program was Splash the Top. That was the name of the proposal I dropped at Splash FM. But then it was not. I met the GM, who was who up to date is still my radio daddy, Pekunloyede. And he said, this proposal is beautiful, but how are you going to finance it? I am a rowo. And now I explained that by the time we go to these clubs, it was like a club tour. We're going to club on Friday. So by the time we go to clubs, they will pay us this one. He said, that's nice. Put it in the proposal. And that was how I was able to impress him. He said I should put in the proposal. I just stepped out of 25 of Shotokun Avenue. Iboni printing press. Because I've been going for weeks to see him. And I've not been able to see him. So that day, tomorrow, where he's on the seat. Let me quickly do it. I just typeset the whole thing. I quickly scribbled it on the paper. And then when I go back, I just told the receptionist, said, I want to see the GM. He's expecting me. So when I go back, I said, you are back. What happened? You forgot something? I said, no, sir. I've edited it. I've made the correction. And he was impressed. And that was how he released his phone number to me. And that phone number out to date. It's still my Happy New Month. Happy Ileya. I was sending him back to back. So that was why I did not get on Splash for the first year. I think they came 2007. I couldn't get on board till 2008. After I became a family friend by fire by force. When I heard that he was getting married. Getting married, okay. I just heard it on radio. I just messaged him, sir, I would like to come for your wedding. Send me your address. He sent me the address. I was there. He saw me. In fact, I participated. I was carrying everything. In fact, people that came from Splash, say, oh, we're related, more flexing. But then, like I said, I know that I was able to make an impression. And then after that, I still keep calling. I just called him one evening. I said, hey, we have this program on our station now. It's called Madhouse. If you don't mind, can you come around? Mind decay. Immediately mo ti ń wá rédíò for abẹ́ mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ comedy ní 2006 torí pọ́n ní pé wọ́n ló máa fún mi lọ́nà àti wọ rédíò. That was 2008, June 13, 2008. I called him on June 12. He said I should come on June 13. June 13 yẹn tí mo dé Ọ̀ṣun tó kù báyìí. Only recording is this the program is this evening. Oh yeah, Bishop audition him. He handed me over to Black D. Black D handed me over to Bishop. Bishop auditioned him. Bishop said I should crack joke. Bishop saw me. He said, you are good. Come this evening. So it was a 2-hour show, and we were like 20. Yeah. Because they created that show for corpers, interns, IT students, and any other person that they just want to bring on radio. So we call it Madhouse. So because I was a stand-up comedian, myself and Bishop, they gave us a segment, a 5-minute segment, Laugh Line. So I should create it, I should name it. I named it Laugh Line. So it was me and Bishop, 5 minutes. And then we now have other different segments with different other people. Zainab, Olaiwola, the popular marketer now, she was one of us, Yabansu, Akintola, different people. Femi Ojo of Splash presently, who is now one of the, I think, status correspondent of Splash. He was one of us back then. Dimejo Gedengbe, a lot of us, PS, we were just there. Track, there was one where the Ogas, because those ones were senior in the industry.
And that was the only private station then? That
was the only private station there. So they were able to put us through, and then we started from there. Then after a while, after like the first 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, Black D just said, because we normally have different segments, then the last 30 minutes we'll be calling. But we need people to, because we are many, everybody cannot, so they need people to man the calling segment. So Black D just said, the comedians, since it's a comedy show, you comedians should be the ones to man the calling segment. And that was how I got more talk time. After our segment, we'll still be the one to tell people, okay, calling, you're welcome, kiniko. And then that was it. So we did that for like 3 to 4 months at Splash. But that was one, we just got to the office one day, to the station one day, we wanted to go on here and said, no, management has put an end to Madhouse. So apparently they have some internal beef, internal issue with Black D, who was the Black D Donti. They were like the people that were handling so they had issues with some other people. They said, a lot of things like that. Yeah. But then Black D retained me. Black D said I should still be coming. So Moshiman lost of Black D on Smooth Home Drive with Black D that working Sonya. So he said I should form a segment. We'll create Laugh and Roll with Afouda on Smooth Home Drive with Black D. So, but Black D is a very wonderful personality. Black D will just say, all right, now the next segment now is Laugh and Roll with Afouda. So enjoy the man. Just on this thing. One láti fún báyìí, wọ́n ṣe lọ poolside yẹn ní premier. Àwọn afẹ́mi nìkan sínú kúbíkù. Màá wá rojọ́ ìtọ́ wa tán lẹ́nu. Màá wá ìmọ̀ tó ti ń play orin. I don't even have this thing to play song because that time the studio, you were inside one cubicle like this. Nobody, I don't know what to do. I'll just be rambling. Fúnra lára mi mo sá o. Gbà tí mo sọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo jókì mi ti tán. I don't know what to say again. That was how I stopped going. But then it was now after that, shortly after that, they now started UI Radio and called for volunteers. And then I signified interest. We were a lot too. Our volunteers, in fact, but then at the end of the day, many people dropped because one can sit and observe one program. So at the end of the day, almost everybody in my set left. Mrs. Sandakon was studio and there was a standing rule: no stranger in the studio. Who is this? I was in it was not Michael Oguntolu. Michael now said, he's one of our, he said, is any one of them still around? He said, no, this guy has always been coming. He said, hey, follow me. That was how I followed. What can you do? Yeah, I can do this, I'm a stand-up comedian, I can do. I said, okay, drop a proposal. Which look up, proposal stress buster here. And that was how I dropped the proposal, 30 minutes weekly and everything. But then, that was not, what was on my mind then was to be a duty continuity announcer.
Okay.
That was what I loved to do. But Mrs. Sandani, I cannot make you a duty continuity announcer. This is your bad English. Say, with this your bad English, I cannot make you a duty continuity announcer. You can handle a comedy show, but it will be recorded. And the reason why she even gave me that was that I was so lucky that she listened to Madhouse a few times.
Okay.
So she said, do you have an experience? I said, yes, I used to be on Madhouse. I said, Madhouse, that program on Splash where I described it. She said, hey, which segment do you handle? I said, okay. So because of that, she gave me a chance. And that was how she gave me 30 minutes weekly, every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6, Stress Buster with Afouda. And that was my first, that I really have my own show. It was at Diamond FM. And that was when I can say my radio journey really started. But my first time on radio, like I said, was 13th of June, 2008.
All right. So let's talk about Space FM. She after Diamond, after they did that law school.
Yeah.
Buledesi.
When I came back from law school, I came in for service. Okay. This was my service year because me served before law school. I went in for service and I was serving at a law firm around UI. One of my fellowship mates, Olumide, yes. So Olumide that sent me that, my radio station, corporate Debaton, will you be interested? Meanwhile, before then, when I was serving, there was MITV. And I used to get invited as a comedian to feature on one of their morning programs on MITV by Mrs. Tolu Adepoju, who happens to be my HOD's wife in my church then. I'm not going to invite him. This guy that performs in our church is a comedian. Come and watch shaking every Friday, Lori TV. So I used to go to MITV then to perform 5-minute segments, 10 minutes every Friday. So when he now gave me that opportunity to pay new radio station, I quickly dusted my proposal. I'm sorry, proposal. I want to do this. I sent the proposal through FedEx to Space FM. They called me immediately that they don't receive proposal through Korea, that I should submit in person. Okay. So the following day, I think the man returned the proposal to me. The following day, I took the proposal down myself. Luckily for me, I entered and I saw Auntie Tolu, the person that has been inviting me to MITV. She's now the head of programs at Space FM. So it was an easy thing for me to get in. Okay, my worry. And that was how I got into Space FM as a stringer. And it was still that my comedy show that I was doing at, I had to stop in 2011 when I was going for law school. So I was off radio from that 2011 till that February 2014 when Space FM came up. And then I just dropped my proposal and then they gave me, but they said they only do pidgin for comedy. So I had to change the name from Stress Buster to Stress Bua because they asked me to go and translate Stress Buster to pidgin. But the joke is Stress Buster. Stress Bua. And that was how I started Stress Bua on Space FM March 2014. The station opened February, but my own first program went on air March 2014. That was how I started with Space FM, with that single program. But then, as time goes on, they had a program called Newspaper Review. That was the first program I was given. After a while, ó yẹ kó lè ṣe pidgin kìíní náà ṣebí comedian yẹn ó máa ń sọ pidgin náà ó yẹ kó lè ṣe pidgin kó lè ka pidgin news. Meanwhile, then I used to have a blog, thepeoplesnetwork.blogspot.com, where I translate English news to pidgin. So when they just gave me script, say go and translate it, it was easy for me. Just within few minutes, when they translated sí pidgin, and then you can wọnú kubiku lọ kí n lọ record it. I recorded it BHOS. Baba Dada Ogunlele of blessed memory. Wọ́n ṣe gbọ́ báyìí, don't worry, you are good. starting tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, by the program goes on by 7, so you have to get here by 5 a.m. so that you can translate and báwo kò yé mi.
Ṣé ti sọ̀rọ̀ owó before then?
Kò ọ̀rọ̀ owó kẹ̀ kò sí tó kàn mí kọ́ owó mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rédíò owó in fact tá a máa ní kí n máa sanwó pé you be paying us màá ní yes at that point because getting on radio was the ultimate thing for me. I just believe that pé tí wọ́n ti dé sórí rédíò tí wọ́n ti popular owó á wá. That was the mentality pé tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí rédíò báyìí owó ti dé. So I was not even concerned about the money at all. And like I said, I had nobody to put me through pé béèrè owó àbí wọ́n máa ń béèrè wọ́n máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ owó. Èmi ò sọ̀rọ̀ owó, àwọn náà dẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ owó. Okay, tomorrow morning. In fact, that night, I had a performance at UCH. So, cause mo rántí pé mo sọ fún ọlọ́kadà kan ló wá gbé mi UCH around 3. Láti UCH wá sí Liberty. Tọ́lọ́pàá dára dó lọ́nà, tọ́lọ́pàá ni where are you coming from? Ní I'm a comedian. I am a lawyer. I'm going on radio. I want to say, ìwọ nìkan, báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? Ọlọ́pàá ni, how are you doing it? Some people are not having one job. You have 3. No, pé wọ́n kò sówó mẹ́. I was trying to explain it. So, I got there 5 a.m. that night. And I was to read PG. So, they gave me Mr. Lawrence Olisa was the head of news. He has prepared the news, handed it over to his assistant, Shoga, who handed it to me. And then I met the person that I was to read with. I was blown. Ọlásùnmádé Akànwó. Ìgbà láyé mo máa ti ń gbọ́ program wọn lágbà tí mo ti wà ní Kwara mo ti máa ń gbọ́ program wọn bọ̀. So I was starstruck pé èmi àti wọn fẹ́ jọ ka because Space FM had the style Pidgin, English and Yoruba ní paper review wọn. So I was to handle the Pidgin. Aunty Tolu was our HOP was to handle the English but English we need the translation. Àwọn ń bọ̀ láti lè straight wá ká ni. But àwa Yorùbá àti Pidgin àti jí láti 4 or 5 láti máa translate. And then we translated it. And then that was how I started reading newspaper, Pidgin, what's it called? Pidgin newspaper. After a while, ẹ kú ojúmọ́, ọmọ ìyá Ṣínà àti ṣé Ìjídòkun nìkan ló máa ń ṣe. Let's alternate it. You àti Túnjí àgbà tó yá, ó dèmi àti Túnjí Adédòkun la máa ń ka newspaper. So nísìn, ìwọ àti Túnjí Adédòkun, ẹ ṣe ẹ kú ojúmọ́ lénìí. Àwọn ìyá ṣe tó wá dọ̀la, ẹ ṣe newspaper. Aṣá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí yí báyẹn. So it was a pair. Myself and Túnjí Adédòkun, Ṣéun Ìjídòkun and ọmọ ìyá Ṣínà. Táwọn bá ṣe Monday, Tuesday paper, àwọn kan ṣe, bá ṣá ṣe ń ṣe sí àwọn nìyẹn for a long time. After a while, wọ́n ní, lọ́ọ̀yà ni ẹ̀ náà. Ó yẹ ká ní program kan Sabiu Narite.
Kò tí sówó mẹ́ngbà.
Kò tí sówó mẹ́ngbà yẹn. Wọ́n tún fi Sabiu Narite kún fún mi. Sabiu Narite that was my 4th program. After a while, program tá a dẹ̀ ń ṣe dẹ̀ dùn o. That was Stress Boa. I think we are having good number. I don't know. Mi mọ̀ pé nǹkan jẹ́ NPS nígbà yẹn. Wọ́n ṣàdé pé the program is working. Can we replicate it for midweek? I said, kí ló dé kí ni egbò mi ṣe tí ò lè fò wá? Ẹ jẹ́ replicate it. So on Wednesdays, they gave me another one. And then I tried to replicate Madhouse. Okay. That was my first experience on radio. I called it Crazy Institute of Comedy. And that was when I brought a lot of my guys, younger comedians, guys then. Remote was one of them. Anointed Malam. Olympia joined us at some point. Chris the lecturer. ATM. Favor K.
Favor K was a comedian too.
Yes, she's a beautiful comedian.
Really?
Yes, she was a female comedian that time. She speaks like this small little babies. This thing. That was her style. And Fabi D. I can't remember a particular guy's name now. He also joined us. So it was a team. And then we had every Wednesday Crazy Institute of Comedy in the afternoon. It was working. And then they said, show Crazy Institute of Comedy 30 point, I can replicate it from weekend. And then they will reintroduce shutdown 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. every Saturday. So before Kato Sun, Kato Laju, Kato Pajude, I had 6 programs. So Space FM was the place where I transitioned from being a comedian on air to a presenter. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
So I never had a formal training. Gbogbo ìgbà tí mo sọ yìí, mo kàn jẹ́ NBC. Mo kàn jẹ́ NBC code. Mo kàn jẹ́, but I know that what I cannot say in church, where I've been performing, I cannot say it on radio. So that has always been my own guideline. So you cannot find me saying vulgar things on radio. Because I was a big fan of radio. I listened to radio for a long time. So I know the do's and don'ts. when I was waiting during that my admission period, OSBC àti Gold FM Iléṣà, a máa gbọ́ àwọn station yẹn o. Ìgbà tó bá jí mi báyìí pé 10 a.m. lọ́jọ́ Friday, ta ló ń ṣe program ní OSBC ni, wọ́n ṣe ẹ̀yà Alhaji Abiodun Aṣelẹ́bẹ́. I will tell you the name of the program and the person that will be on air by that time. I listened to radio. So from there, I picked the do's and the don'ts of radio. So, but like I said, I never had a formal training or anybody putting me through. So I just found myself doing it. 6 programs. One day, our chairman just came and said, I want a program where they read newspaper in pidgin. And I think it should be very funny. It should be just described. And then he said, you guys should do it. They said it should be weekly, 6:30. They gave me City People magazine. And then some other few magazines. Bere, Tori. And funnily enough, it was the time that Obesere was in the news for a rape allegation. So story yẹn mo kà dáadáa ńjọ́ yẹn, papa tọ̀ síbẹ̀, wọ́n ló ṣe kinní kan. I just tried to be funny. That was how my chairman called. But no. I enjoyed that program. I so much. See, in fact, that program should continue tomorrow. So program that was meant to continue next week, because the story was developing. He said I should continue that so I can continue the story the following day. But she continued. He enjoyed it again. He said, no, he enjoyed the program. Let's do it again the next day. The program we say the daily. When I say daily, I mean Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No break.
Wọ́n ti fowó sí náà.
Gba yẹn wọ́n ti ń fún mi lówó. But like I said, I was a stringer. I never asked for money. So it was out of their own goodness of heart. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fún mi ní, I think it was 2,000 initially, but I was already 5,000. 5,000 model. I work for almost all the time tí mo wà ń bẹ̀. Gbà mí gba tí mo ti program yẹn ti ń pọ̀. Because then I have saved when I was in camp, when I was 7, pé mo fẹ́ gbalé. Ilé tí mo ti ń gbé láti ìgbà tí mo ti wà ní 100 level, ibẹ̀ mo ṣì wà. Pé mo ti di lawyer náà, ó yẹ kí n lè change ilé. Mo ṣáà ti plan gbogbo ilé mo fi wọ mọ́tò ni. Because I was staying at Agbowo. Space FM is at Liberty Road. Ó lẹ́gbọ̀n kan tó máa ń fọ̀ ọ̀kadà gbé mi wá ní ìdájí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. I paid him 5,000 weekly. That is out just coming. 5,000
weekly.
Weekly.
Àwọn dẹ̀ ń san èlò 2,000.
2,000 initially. So mo máa padà sílé yẹn. Meanwhile, I have 6:30 program. Although it was recorded. Tori was recorded all through that time. So, but then I have to wait till evening. Sometimes my morning program by my studio, I have to sleep over. So I jẹun, I ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Mo ṣáà ṣe ná savings tán nìyẹn. But then ìgbà tó yá mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí complain pé owó ìkéré. I will meet my HOP. She said, write a letter. Ma ti kọ letter. Mo dẹ̀ ma state here. Iye tí mo fi wọ mọ́tò rẹ̀. I think I calculated, apart from the 5,000, I think I calculated 14,200 or something. Money is going to, say, put it in the letter. I will put it in the letter. But like where I now increase the 5,000. But like I said, I was enjoying myself and I was not bothered until it became burdensome. Because I was not looking, I could not go home. Because my parents then were like, Alaye o ti parí, wáṣẹ́ sí tó bá tiẹ̀ wáṣẹ́ sí lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ mú kan àbí kó wáṣẹ́ sí Ministry of Justice àbí kó wáṣẹ́ síbì kan. So I could not go home. I always stay back in Ibadan. And then they didn't know what was happening. I mean, so when my parents heard that I was on radio, because my mom had some family members in Ibadan, I think they argued, we'll go on radio. My mom just believed that I was doing well. Until one day, when my mom just called me, say, Kayode, Munima, when we went by so we should return about thing help èèyàn kí n gbàgbé ibi téèyàn ti ń bọ̀. Our church, my church in Kwara, is a very wonderful place. My own church, Calvary Baptist Church, is the kind of place where if you send anything home, they will announce it. Pé Kayode Adeniyi ọmọ Mr. and Mrs. Adeniyi ó fi 5,000 naira ránṣẹ́, gbogbo ìjọ ó pàtẹ́wọ́. Àṣé gbogbo nǹkan tó máa ń ka ti àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ ó ń wu wọn sí mi náà. Pé kan tiẹ̀ kápọ̀ mọ́ àwọn náà àwọn wọn ṣáà ti di lọ́ọ̀yà. Káwọn náà fowó ránṣẹ́. So she now told me, and I said, Mommy, bí èlò mo lè fi ránṣẹ́. Wọ́n ní kò bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ 10 or 20,000. Wọ́n ní Mommy ẹjọ́ bí èlò lẹ rò pé mò ń gba salary. Wọ́n ní at least kò ṣe bí kò máa gba 100. Mommy, salary mi. Wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ máa sọ mo ṣe ń gbàdúrà kan sọ di 10,000 ni. Àwọn sì almost cried. As in, she felt like it was a total waste of energy, waste of resources, waste of investment. Pé kí làwọn fi life ara àwọn ṣe tí irú ọmọ wèrè wo ni Ọlọ́run á ti sin kí àwọn báyìí tó ń fi life ẹ̀ tàfàlà. But then èmi ò mọ̀ pé kò yé wọn ni I'm trying to invest in my future. Pé tí màá bá pick báyìí tí màá bá pick báyìí á ṣọ́ọ̀kì wọn. Until one day we went for Swan football kìíní kan Adamasingba ní Adamasingba. I just went to I met one of my former neighbors, Bọ̀dá Akin. Káyọ̀dé kí ló ṣe é? Ní kò sí tó ṣe mí, ṣó sick ni? Mi ò sick. Kí ló dé tó look báyìí? Kí ló dé tó look rough? Kí ló dé tó lean? As in that thing was like he opened a veil. Because the way I know he's someone that really likes me and he has my interest at heart. The way he described me that day, I felt sorry for myself. Because like I said, I've not been going on, nobody could assess me. Kí ló ṣe é? Ó ṣe lè báyìí, ó ṣe rough báyìí, ó ṣe kíní kan báyìí. Mo ní pé bó ṣe ń wọ ẹ̀ báyìí nísìn lọ́kọ̀ lẹ́tà sọ pé ò ṣe mọ́, lọ resign. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ò lè resign, mo ti kíní ewu mi gan ni, mo like kíní, ó ní no, go and resign. Mo ṣáà pé mi lè resign, ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ náà fọgbọ́n ṣe. Mo ṣe kọ lẹ́tà sí station yẹn pé tọ̀. Going forward, program báyìí, mi ò ṣe mọ́. Ẹ fi mí sórí ẹ jẹ́ máa ṣe weekly program mi àti torí yẹn was everywhere. Me too, I love that daily program. Òun nìkan mo fẹ́ máa ṣe. I think with the law program. Wọ́n kọ́ bínú pé you cannot be dictating for us, you cannot be shaking nìkan, you cannot be shaking nìkan. Wọ́n ṣàpadà gbà pé àṣìgbà yẹn náà tí ń wò pé dáa pé ọwọ́ ẹ fẹ́ máa dọwọ́rú. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ rí pé mi ì dọwọ́rú, mi ò ní option ni. One day, one beautiful day, Ọlọ́run kan gbé ṣe ẹ̀dẹ́ ni. Honorable Sonde ò ní ẹ̀jẹ̀. Òun ló ń ṣe shield youth kìíní kan jọ yẹn tó pè wá fún photoshoot la lọ fún. I was on my way coming. Mo kàn rí call Túndé Adédòkun. He said that somebody has been trying to get your number. Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat. He has been trying to get your number. Oriyomi. Mo ti máa ń gbórúkọ yẹn bọ̀ mi mẹ́ni yẹn. Say, can I give him my number now? And shortly after that, wá dẹ̀ recall lóòótọ́ wá recall Alhaji. Wá ní pé I don't know you from anywhere. Pé ó láwọn kan táwọn ti máa ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ for a long time. Àwọn bá wọn produce the show wọn. But now they said they need a pidgin presenter. And you are the only pidgin presenter in Ibadan that I can recommend. You are the only one that I like. I like the way you do your thing. So your name just came to my mind. Mo ṣe pé Túndé, pé kó mi get number. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ bàbá ọkọ mi, inú mi á dùn. So that was how Alhaji Oriyomi recommended me for Night on the Rock with Intercontinental Distilleries. There's a wrong by one. Wọ́n láwọn ọmọ fún mi ní 10,000 naira per episode, 30 minutes lọ́sẹ̀, 10,000 naira. Lémi tí mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ 31 days. Tí mo ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ kan lórí àkọsẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ mi di 10,000 gbà yẹn ni. Ní ṣe 31 days, 7 programs daily. Ẹ wá fẹ́ máa fún mi ní 30 minutes, 10,000 naira. To now make the matter, to now bust my head. Wọ́n wá ní wọ́n á sanwó per quarter, wọ́n á sanwó 13 weeks lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà, 130,000. Nígbà tí mo ṣògùn owó ni, as in I was so overjoyed. Mo ti sọ yes, mo ti sọ everything tó pé mi mà tí fọ̀rọ̀ lọ àwọn tó gbà mí síṣẹ́. But then like I said, I had a good relationship with my HOP. Àti Tolú, ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀. He said, that's good. Ṣé wọ́n ṣáà gba wọ́n gbá mi owó tó fẹ́ san fún mi, ó make sense o. He said, that's good, no problem. And that was how I took up the offer. Ọlọ́run kan fọ pé ṣẹ́yìn ajẹ́ tèmi ni. Because wọ́n ti sanwó tán. Ó ní wọ́n pè mí padà pé we had a meeting. So wọ́n ní pé ká má lo pidgin presenter, ní pé ká ṣe English. Mo lọ school, èmi náà gbọ́ English. Èmi náà lè ṣe English now. Wọ́n ní but you can still mix it with pidgin, but then it's predominantly English. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní send the demo. Kí ni fi ń ṣe yàn? Mo send the demo sí wọn ní it's okay. But then kọ́kọ́rọ́ kan tó gbẹ̀yìn ajá jẹ́ ni pé their own policies that they use the #1 radio station in every city, which was Splash. So Splash in what you hear, so I would make the recording and send it to Splash, and then they will play it. So few weeks down the lane, bí wọ́n ṣe pè mí sí mo ṣe 1st of September. Meanwhile, by that time, truthful, come clean lórí podcast. Before that time, I was sticking with Lagelu. In fact, before that time, Splash ti pè mí. through one of my church members, because then because of my program in Kini, I moved to Global Harvest, which was on Liberty Road. So I met Tope Fadeyi, I met Kegiwa, some Splash people at that church. And Tope Fadeyi said, you like to come over to Splash? You know me, I don't tell Baba Miraye. So he now called me, said, owó tán fi lọ mí gbà yẹn ó kéré. Ó pọ̀ ju tí mo ń gbà yẹn lọ, but mo pé téèyàn bá ti ń jìyà débì kan, ó yẹ kéèyàn tiẹ̀ gba, I think it was 30-something thousand. Mo ní no, I can't come for that amount. But then, wọ́n ti ń plan Lagelu gbà yẹn. So èmi àti Lagelu ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. Like I said, once I get any offer like that, I call my radio daddy, Flexi. Yes, sir. Mo ti fẹ́ fọ̀rọ̀ owó kankan bye. He said, why not? Ṣé o fẹ́ kò wù ẹ́ ni? Mo ní ó wù mí. Then kí wá ló dé lọ now? O ṣáà jẹyàn gbèsè níbi tó ti wà wílé pé ó bá wọn múlẹ̀ pé ò ní kú mẹ́ ní rárá sà. It's a good offer. Okay. A lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ owó àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sọ̀rọ̀ owó ń gbà yẹn. So wọ́n ti wá ní pé kí n wá gba lẹ́tà. Mo tún mọ̀ pé hey, báwo mo ti fẹ́ break news fún àwọn ará mi ní Space FM pé mo ti gba lẹ́tà báyìí. How do I tell them that I will not look like a betrayer? But meanwhile, before that time, Space FM ti ṣẹ̀ mí.
Okay.
Wọ́n ti ṣẹ̀ mí.
Kí ló ṣe?
They were not giving me enough money. But then don't forget that that time I was a stand-up comedian. And as a stand-up comedian, mo ti ń ṣe show fúnra mi. 2010, the first event to me, I did that when I was in my final year. Feast of Laughter with Afouda and Friends, 29th of April 2010. LLT, Faculty of Law. Lọ́dún yẹn long. After that, gbà tí mi lé law school ní 2011 yẹn, mo ti wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ Laugh and Roll with Afouda and Friends. It's a monthly comedy show at Fun Factory. Lọ́sùn tó kún Bódìjà. It was a monthly comedy show. So, mo ti ní àwọn experience events. Mo rò pé mo wà ní Space FM. Ara àdí tí ó yẹ kí rédíò wà interesting náà ni pé as a comedian you get you get known and people get to invite you, you get money, you get invitations from radio, and then you can come up with concept and ideas. Mo dẹ̀ ti lọ bá Fun Factory. Mo ní I'm having an idea, Ibadan family games show. And I told them this is how we invite people will come, they will play games, they will do this, they will do that, and then we'll make money, we'll share money. They said they are interested. I went to Foodco. Mr. Kingsley was their HR then. I met Mr. Kingsley at HR. I said, Mr. Kingsley, see this idea that I have. If Foodco can give us gifts, so that I want to play games here, and they come buy 5 noodles, and they come buy kilo. So it will be different kind of small gifts. So people, it will be interesting. He said, why? But one thing I keep promising them is that there will be massive media publicity. That is because I have a radio base. So almost every other person, once you agree, I drop proposal as space. I've dropped my proposal before kí n tẹ̀ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo movement wọ́n dá mi lóhùn. So mi tẹ̀ pé internal affairs nìyẹn ò le. I pursued every other thing, and every other person was online. But everything was hinged on massive media publicity. Mo wá padà dé station tí mo ti ń sìn gbà. Wọ́n ní ẹ̀sà see my idea, see this. Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ ní pé àwọn proposal yẹn mọ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ lọ print mi wá. Wọ́n kọ́kọ́ ṣe nígbà kan pé rí proposal yẹn mọ́ báwo mo ṣáà lọ print mi wá. Auntie Bumi Atekoja of blessed memory too, our head of marketing. She now called me. She sat down with the head of station, Dada Ogundele. Wọ́n proposal mi. Wọ́n ní okay, you will do this, you will do that. At the end of the day, the station says they will collect 50% of anything I make from the event. Like, tí station bá gba 50%, tí venue gba 20%, tí mo sanwó DJ, tí mo sanwó artist, tí mo ṣe flyer. This is not fair. This is where I work. This is where I take in the. And then the HOS said something. Pé gbogbo nǹkan táwọn ṣe fún mi, platform làwọn fún mi. Pé kí n calculate, pé tí mo bá lè calculate iye diesel tí mo ń lò every time tí mo bá go on air 30 minutes every day. Kàn yẹ ká calculate iye diesel yẹn fún mi. Kàn yẹ kí n mọ iye tí station wave fún mi, iye tó yẹ kí n jẹ station ká ní pé mo ń sanwó fún program
servicing
wọ́n sọ wọn ká débẹ̀ fún mi. Maybe because I was not very young. Like I said, that time I was done with service. But I was just blinded by passion. So I don't calculate it fún mi. But I know that something was wrong. Money, I can't do a program. Mi lè ṣe event can you move 50%. Like I said, kò lè make sense. I'm not doing again. and that was it. And that was how àwọn Mr. Kingsley Foodco wọ́n wá ń pè mí how far guy we no see you again mo wá ń sá fún àwọn helper mi because I don't know how to go and tell them pé rédíò tí mo ti fi boast pé mo ní rédíò mi ní rédíò mọ́. And that was how the program event. So my mind was made up that this organization is a selfish one. They don't want the best for me. I want to leave. So that was when now called me. In fact, mo ti pe Flexi gbà yẹn pé I want to live where I am. Flexi said I should come to Lagos. I went to meet him in Lagos. Gbà yẹn ní Naija FM náà dé. He sent me to Naija FM. Mo lọ ṣe audition Naija FM. Wọ́n mú mi. Wọ́n pè mí padà. That was when Lagelu and Naija FM, they called me almost at the same time. I was still expecting Naija FM's what's it called? Call. When Lagelu now called me. Adé sọ̀rọ̀. Èló ló ń gbà. Wọ́n ní èèyàn ní pera rẹ̀ ní èèyàn ní tara rẹ̀ ṣíìpì náà wò pé èló mo lè sọ pé mò ń gbà náà. Ẹ̀rù tó ń bà mí pé hey, tí n bá lọ sọ iye kan fún wọn báyìí ṣé wọ́n ní já mi because mo ní 60,000 ni mò ń gbà. Wọ́n ní owó yẹn pọ̀ o. Ní kò pọ̀ o. Mọ program tí mò ń ṣe ni. Mo já àfẹnu sí wọ́n ní owó yẹn pọ̀ kíní kan at the end of the day mo já ní kò pọ̀. Èló wa ló fẹ́ gbà mí? Wọ́n lé mi bí tí mo wà. Èló ló fẹ́ gbà? Mo wá gba 120.
Kọ́ńtì ẹ̀ lọ mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ mẹ́ẹ̀ lásán.
Ọlọ́run wọ́n wá fún mi 15,500 fún ọba fún mi 15,500 fún ọba ná mi. Mo ṣáà takú sí 120 at the end of the day. He said you can't pay you 120. Mo ní okay ẹ̀sán 100. Kí n tẹ̀ sọ pé mo gba 100,000. Kò jọ wọ́n láwọn lè ṣe 100. At the end of the day a padà agree sí 90. Yóò tán sọ pé àwọn máa san 90 fún mi. Mo fẹ́ yà wèrè from 10,000 to 90,000. Meanwhile, a month before, in all fairness to space, a month before September a month before that àwọn padà increase salary mi sí 15,000. So mo gba 15,000 yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Mo ń lóde kí n gbẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kejì. Ó kàn di September 1, 2015. Mo kàn send the program mo ṣe máa ń send ẹ̀ ni. Wọ́n kàn play ẹ̀ ni. Mo sáré pé engineer bẹ́ẹ̀ since start títí lu wọ́n play program mi. Wọ́n ní cause anywhere tí mo bá wà tí program mi bá fi fail àbí anything kọ́ọ̀lù afẹ́ pa mí cause àwọn èèyàn wọ́n ń gbọ́ torítorí gbà yẹn. People will be calling me, where are you? Wọ́n ní pé engineer mo ṣe pé engineer you know what, you have to come and see the HOP. Àwọn èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ pé wàhálà ti wà. Mo ṣe pé HOP ní come to the station tomorrow, we have a meeting with the HOS. Mo ti mọ̀ pé ó dàbí pé nǹkan kan ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Àárọ̀ ọjọ́ yẹn kí n tó wá sí kí n mo kọ́kọ́ pe Lágelú pé alpha ṣe lẹ́tà mi ti rẹ́dì wọn ló ti rẹ́dì mo ní mò ń bọ̀. So Lágelú mo kọ́kọ́ lọ straight mo kọ́kọ́ lọ gba lẹ́tà sọ́wọ́. Ó ń déwájú ó ń dẹjọ́. Mo kọ́kọ́ lọ gba lẹ́tà 90,000 mi sọ́wọ́. Mo wá yọjú sí space. Mo ṣe dé HOP wọ́n ní let's go to the office. Fatima adé ẹ̀ báyìí HOP, HOM, HOS. Wọ́n bá ní the chairman asked us to lay you off for disloyalty. It's our principle on this station that we don't share voices. We heard your voice on a program on another station. Ẹ gbà mí. Stringer lẹ pè mí. Owó stringer lẹ ń fún mi. Meanwhile, that time they were paying me 10K. There are some other people that were collecting 60, 50.
Okay.
But those ones were full staff.
Okay.
But don't ṣe staffing, don't ṣe recruitment, èmi ò mọ̀. Wọ́n ti ṣe gbogbo recruitment náà kémi tó submit proposal tèmi kémi tó wọlé. So they brought me in as a stringer. But then they had a policy, which is MC, they call it private practice or something. You are not allowed to do it. But then, kò sí tí mo fẹ́ fi kún, tí mo fẹ́ fi wá rédíò gangan lélẹ́yìí, tí mo ti ń ṣe látijọ́ eléyìí nìyẹn, mi ò lè filẹ̀. So let me remain a stringer. Kẹ́yìn yẹn máa fún mi lówó indirectly. Kémi ni màá ṣe stringer àbí kí náà ń pè mí bíbá yìí freelance mi, kẹ́ máa fún mi ní iye tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fún mi. So anytime tí bá ti pitch or tí bá ti mú ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn wá pé you should pay me this thing, Ọ̀túnba ní that's our chairman. Ọ̀túnba ní the ball is in your court. You are the one that have refused to become a full staff. If you are Ọ̀túnba Deji Oshibogun. Only you are the one, the ball is in your court. You are the one that has refused to become a this thing. But mo tún wò pé gbogbo àwọn òfin mi ò like àwọn kan ní wọ́n máa jí ṣe. Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ máa tẹ̀lé ẹ kiri ni? But my conscience does not carry such a thing.
Ìjọba bá mọ̀ officially wọ́n máa wá lò.
Exactly. Màá dàgbà tí èèyàn á dàbí ọ̀dẹ̀. Mi ò lè ṣe. Má ti máa jí nǹkan ṣe mi ò lè jí ṣe. Talent Ọlọ́run fún mi. Tẹ́ pé òun ló gbé mi lórí, òun lẹ fi rí mi, tẹ́ fi pè mí. Ẹ wá ní pé kí n drop ẹ̀ mi ò lè ṣe náà kò possible. So that one is there pé èmi ni mi ò fẹ́ di full staff. Èmi ni ó wù kí n máa ṣe stringer. But ẹ mọ nǹkan tí mò ń ṣe, program tí mò ń ṣe, many full staff ò ṣe. as in terms of number, like 7 programs. So why are you still? But then that was it for me. So but don't pè mí sí meeting wọ́n ní, I told them I'm a stringer. Oh, stringer lẹ́ ń san fún mi. And by dictionary definition of a stringer, freelance, I can work anywhere. He said no, that's against our policy. Pé ẹ̀yin expect pé èmi to show appreciation to the station for what the station has done for me. Ó yẹ kí n lè convince agency tó gbéṣẹ́ fún mi pé kán wá lo space. Ta lè mi tí mo convince agency tó yẹ pé wọ́n mọ̀ mí, wọ́n kàn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ kan lo Alhaji Oriyomi láti recommend mi tí máa fi I'm not in a position to give them terms. Wait, nǹkan tí mo ká ní pé superstar ni mi tó yẹ pé àwọn náà ń lé mi mo lè wọ́n pé if I want to work for you, I'm not going on that station. But wọ́n á kàn fọwọ́ ẹ̀yìn ọwọ́ wá fi gbá mi dànù tí wọ́n á wá ẹlòmíì fún mi replace mi. Mi ò lágbára ẹ̀, charisma mi ò gbé nǹkan tẹ́ ní ṣe, mi ò lè ṣe. Wọ́n ní pé so because I did not do that, the station has asked them to let me go. So apparently, what they were expecting, but àwọn gbogbo bá ṣe sọ bẹ́ẹ̀,
wọ́n fẹ́
halẹ̀ ni. But èmi ti gba agbára sí ọwọ́.
90k.
Agbára ti wà lọ 90k. Ìjọ ẹ̀ mo sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní thank you, I really appreciate it. Mo dẹ̀ ní there is no way I will write my story in my life that Space FM will not feature prominently, because this is the way where I evolved from an ordinary comedian on air to a presenter that I can say I'm sure of myself as a presenter. But then there's no way you will talk about the history of this station anywhere that my name will not feature. And up till date, I stand on that word. Ask anybody that knows Space FM, nígbà tí Space FM ṣe dé, who were the first set of presenters tó all call star ní Space FM. They will tell you that Tori with Afouda 6:30 p.m. every day is one of their programs then. But so there is no way you will tell the story of this station too that my name will not feature prominently. But what have I got in return? Selfishness, let's say for me. I got an opportunity, and then because of your own 50%, I said my mind, and I said thank you for the opportunity. Ojú àtúnrarí, ó dẹ̀ dìde. So later àwọn padà ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní wọ́n fẹ́ halẹ̀ ni, but ó wá di èmi ò dẹ̀ wẹ̀yìn wò, because Ọlọ́run ràn mí lọ́wọ́ pẹ̀lú kíní ẹ̀. I'm a very decisive person. Once I made up my mind that I'm done with something, I'm done with it. Because I've never lacked options. I've always had options laid down. So tí n bá sọ pé ilẹ̀ ti ṣú, ó ti dàárọ̀ báyìí, ó ti dàárọ̀ nìyẹn, kò tún ṣe káàárọ̀ ńbẹ̀ mọ́. But one thing I always ensure is that I value relationship a lot. I just don't want anybody to see me somewhere. Kí n wá rẹ́ni tá a jọ close tẹ́lẹ̀ ká má lè close mọ́. I don't like it for any reason. Ara nǹkan tó kó bá mi dì sí nìyẹn. Mo ṣe ń mọ̀ nísìnyí pé it's not a strength. You should be able to cut people off when they deserve to be cut off. Mi ò mọ̀ ngbà yẹn. So I was just trying to still, but then I felt that time was time for me to move. And then I left. But then èmi náà lọ announce pé wọ́n ti lé mi, because my appointment letter at Lagelu was to resume October 1st. So that September 1 to kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, people were saying wọ́n ti lé ibo lọ àbí I could not even say wọ́n ti lé, because the style of Space FM taught me one valuable lesson that really is helping me till today. And what was that lesson? Ní Space FM gbà yẹn wọ́n create a Facebook page for each program, and then the head of social media and the presenter, they are the admin of the page. They made it a competition for us. Everybody go and grow your page. We will see who can grow the page faster. But nínú kò sówó yẹn, December period tí n bá ṣe tí mo bá rí èlò $100 recharge card, mo máa ṣe give away lórí Facebook page mi. And then my Facebook page has grown to 3,000. I was the only person on that station that time that had over 1,000. I had 3,000 plus Facebook followers or fans or something on that Facebook page. Ìjọ́ tán lé mi kí n tó délé, wọ́n ti yọ mí as admin. That was the only thing that almost made me cry, because I built that community, and that community is a very, very valuable community. I have people from all over the world. You know, Space FM was one of the first stations that had this diaspora appeal before Fresh FM came. It has that diaspora appeal. So a lot of people in the diaspora were listening, because Otunba is a socialite. He's an Ijebu man, he's well connected, he's an outgoing person. You can't take that away from him. So he has many people listening. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mi tí gbogbo èrò ọkàn mi ní pé tí n bá ti délé o, kí ló fáwọn èèyàn mi pé ibi ni Ebenezer wà rèé o, ojú ò máa túnra rí o, kíníkan o. kí n tó délé láti Liberty Agbo mo kàn wá page tí ni wọ́n ti yọ mí as admin. It was as if they stripped me naked. That was the most painful part of that experience for me, that I lost touch up till date. Tèmi àtàwọn kan bá sì jam online, where have you been since that time? Because social media was not as strong. My own personal page too was not really that what was it called? And besides, like I said, I made the mistake. I focused primarily on the station's page. Mi mọ̀ pé mi kọ́ mo ní. And that thing told me pé Afouda bó ṣe 5 people ló ní lórí platform ẹ ti ẹni kò sẹ́ni tó lè gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. But kó o ní 5 million people lórí platform oní platform ìjọ kan ọ̀sán kan òru kan wọ́n á ṣe fàáyọ lélẹ̀. And that thing really stayed with me till date. And thankfully I had that at the back of my mind. Kò bá yọlẹ̀ fún mi. Kò bá yọlẹ̀ fún mi lẹ́nu. If I did not have that mindset, while I'm building for other people, I should be building something that is mine. Because that, like I said, that really taught me that particular lesson. So that phase of Space FM was a phase full of lessons for me. A phase full of lessons for me. And then, but I thank God that, like I said, what could have ended in tragedy. That is why every 2nd of September, today is the anniversary of my dismissal. Today is my dismissal anniversary. I celebrate the dismissal anniversary. But then I got to Lagelu and my life changed. 10,000 sí kí ló kọ ẹ̀. Mo gbé yàrá kan ní Agbowó ní Adelove láti 2005 tí mo ti dé Ìbàdàn. Okay, I changed lane 2005 to 2006. Láti 2006 mo ti kó dé ilé yẹn that same Adelove. 2016 mo dé Lagelu ní September, mo resume ní October 2015. January 2016 ni mo kó sí 3-bedroom flat. For the first time in my life pé mo kó kúrò ní 1-bedroom, it's a 1-bedroom,
1 room.
It's a 1-room self-contained. 1 room face me, I slap you, no. In fact, kí n tó kó nílé yẹn, I was the oldest tenant. Gbogbo other tenant tó bá mi lé yẹn ti fi lélẹ̀ fún mi. I was the oldest tenant kí n tó kó nílé yẹn. And then I was able to move into, I rented a 3-bedroom apartment. I furnished it. I went to my fiancé's parents' house where I want to get married. Mo ti dé báyìí, mo ti ready báyìí. Wọ́n bí mi dá kí n ti ẹ̀rọ
lórí 10,000.
Lórí 10,000 kí ni o fẹ́. But then, like I said, that's Lagelu was I hold them. I believe that I hold Lagelu that time because, like I said, what they gave me was that it was like they rescued me from the jaws of being humiliated. Ká ní pé mi ò rí offer àwọn yẹn, ká ní offer àwọn yẹn wá ńgbà tó wá ni. Space FM wá bójú mi jẹ́. Because ká ní pé mo lọ bẹ̀bẹ̀ ni. Ṣé gbogbo program tí mo ti ní mi ò ṣe mọ́ tán ti stop yẹn. Àwa ní sórí eléyìí tó lò ṣe mọ́ wàá continue. Eléyìí tó lò ṣe mọ́ wọ́n wàá bí mi dá kí n wá sọ pé mi ò kàn tó ọ̀sìn gbà yẹn báyìí èmi màá wà ní. So God used Lagelu to rescue me from a major, but it was not open to anybody. And bọ́lọ̀ ṣe máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn. Wọ́n ní tọ́lọ̀ bá bá àṣírí ẹ̀dá kò ní sọ fẹ́ nìkan. Àwọ̀ láti mọ̀ èmi mọ̀ pé I met one of my old fans, Mama Soja, a woman that loves me dearly.
Gbọ́dọ̀ wà.
Mi mọ̀ bí tán wà mọ́ sí. Because when I moved to Lagelu, a lot of people have that close whatever with Space FM. Moving was not easy for them. They had that loyalty to Space FM. Mo pàdé màmá ní challenge jọ kan wọ́n ní ibi tó wà ń sinmi rò ó bá star ẹ̀ mu. Mo ní kí ló dé ní àgọ́ ẹ̀ mọ́ bíi ti tẹ́lẹ̀. Mo ní màmá ó lè má bá star mi mu but èmi mọ̀ pé ó bá life mi mu. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín ò yé mi ni. I was forced to open to her. Later náà sọ fún mi pé ṣé mo pé gbà yẹn àwọn rò pé mò ń parọ́ ni. Mo ní màmá 10,000 náà fún mi bí tí mo wà yẹn mo ń gba 90,000 bí ẹ wá ní pé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn báwo ni 10,000 ṣe bá star mi mu. ẹ má ṣe I tried to make, I had to open up to her but she did not still see it. And a lot of people still feel like gbogbo nǹkan kọ́ lówó lórí 10,000.
Àwọn fans radio. Ìgbádùn tí wọ́n yẹn ló kàn wọ́n kẹ́hàn nípa bí ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ràn yẹn ṣe ń fẹ́.
Káná rí mi gbà wọ́n ti ẹ̀rọ rí mi gbà yẹn mi máa ń farapa mọ́ mi ò kí ń lè jáde. Mo máa ń farapa mọ́ ni mi ò kí ń lè jáde.
Ẹni tó jẹ́ presenter bí OAP ló máa ń mọ ibi tó ń lọ. Má jẹ́ kí ìdí àwọn fans má yẹ kó dé
ẹ̀. Because at the end of the day, and it's quite unfortunate that we've seen some of our colleagues fall down to that. When I say fall down to that is, they always believe that we have people behind us, and when major needs occur, and they don't have, and nǹkan tó Ọlọ́run mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run alààyè tó fún mi lórí ọ̀fẹ́ yẹn in my almost 18 years that I spent on radio, pé kí n wá slide into somebody's DM pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo need nǹkan báyìí Ọlọ́run. I've seen people gift me before. In fact, there's a particular woman that likes to remain anonymous, a very beautiful blessing to my family. There was a particular year I sat down, mo then calculate owó tí àǹtí yẹn send sí mi, ọmọ mi ṣe birthday, wọ́n send owó sọ́mọ mi, ìyàwó mi ṣe birthday, wọ́n send owó sí ìyàwó mi, èmi ṣe birthday, wọ́n send owó sí mi, mo ṣe event, wọ́n send owó sí mi, mo then calculate everything. It was well over $1,000. I'm talking of like 2-3 years ago. And like I said, there are people that God will just send that they just say, guy, I appreciate you, take, I appreciate you, take. But pé mo wá need Ọlọ́run wá pé mo wá lọ, and like I said, when you fall down, when you rely too much on à ń gbádùn yín, there is no way it will not happen. Because you believe that these people, they love me, they won't watch me suffer. And when there is a major need and you cannot meet that need, one will be forced to go and meet them pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé mo lè ráyè sásọ́dọ̀ yín for, and mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tí ò jẹ́ kí n express, because I can't even imagine what it feels like. Àwọn tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ìṣe pé bí mo fi yọ̀ wọ́n o, but then I'm just feeling like it's just one of the things I'm thankful for, that I never let it get into my head pé they get me. This àwọn cover mi, àwọn fans mi cover mi, jẹ́ kí n ṣe bó ṣe wù mí. Àwọn fans mi cover mi, wọ́n bá mi gbé. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí n rò débẹ̀, and Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ń bá àṣírí. Àkú àrùn adẹ̀ ṣe and we are progressing seriously to the glory of God.
So how many years did Lagelu?
Lagelu, my contract for them was 2 years. Lagelu signs 2 years contract with everybody. Nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ o. Contract was 2015 to 2017, October 1st to September 31, 2017. And I had no reason to leave. I got a better offer, with 32 FM. And 32 FM sent somebody that I could not refuse, one of the idols. And one thing about respecting your gun, like I said, I was a big radio fan. I respect Donty a lot, because it's someone that I've been listening to since I came to Ibadan. So I thought that, so for Donty to come in, that I want to see you. And when so ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mọ̀ pé wọ́n mọ̀ mí láyé ìgbà tá a kọ́kọ́ ṣe Mad House yẹn briefly, tá a kàn rọra jọ wà ńgbà yẹn, but mi mọ̀ pé he still recognizes me. So when he calls me that, can I see you? Donty. Àtàwọn wá ní pé àwọn ní offer kan fún mi pé a new radio station. They now say you are humorous, you are funny, and this station that is coming is a humor station. They say àwọn ṣáà wọlé sí mi lára dá lọ́nà tó make sense gan. So wọ́n tó kọ́ disarm mi. But when I now met the chairman, knock me off with Tunji Abioye, that's the chairman of 32 FM. He's one man that I forever respect, because he's the first person that makes me feel visible. At Space FM, Otumba knows me very well. In fact, at some point, he tried to build a personal relationship with me, which I was glad and I was willing to work on. And to come to me say, because in an organization like that, when you are too close to the chairman, anything happens and the chairman maybe raise it up with the management, there's always a feeling that some people are snitching to him and everything, and that is one thing that I am never, and I don't want anybody to see me in that light. And Otumba is a kind of person that knows how to get information from you when he wants it, and he will use it, and people will know that. So I just had to deliberately stay away from Otumba. But even at that, Otumba sees me when we are in the office. Otumba sees me when we are talking about work. When I got to Lagelu, about Yerimiri, the chairman, I never had a one-on-one with him. Never. So he was never even aware. There's this security that is there when you feel like this person knows me. God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. Think about me. Somebody a chairman me. Chairman ọmọ yìí. But chairman I had that one at Lagelu. Like I said, the pay was good. I was not even bothered. I did not even know it was an issue until the day I met TJ. At the Sonde because at Donty, he now said we should meet at Kokodome. And I met this man, and he was asking me personal questions. Are you married? I said, no. Do you have someone you are dating? I said, no, I have fiancé that we are planning our introduction. He said, what's her name? What does she do? Where did she graduate from?
TJ Kokini and Moshe Nijare.
As in, he was asking me. So for the first time, I was like, Chairman, was asking about my fiancé. When is your date? Have you fixed date for introduction? Say what date? Say, unfortunately, I won't be in town. But when I told him that, what other things do you do? Why do you want to leave? Why did you leave Space FM? Why do you want to leave? Is there anything going? He talked to me like a person. No, he was not talking to me about the job. He said, is there anything you want me to know? And then that was when I told him that I have this program I run with Splash, Night on Drugs, not to really eliminate Space Man, Ocean Run. I did that program for like 3-4 years. I said, I did a program. I am still running a program with Splash FM. Is a sponsor program. I said, why not? I said, I have a dream. I have a blog present. Then I used to have People's Network. I said, I have People's Network. And I'm hoping that one day it will grow into something big. I have that plan to have my own media outfit. He said, as long as it does not affect your primary duty, I'm totally, in fact, I will support you. I'm working with this man. I'm working with this man. And then I want to formulate salary, if you don't want to offer me. Ko bad na láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, it's not bad at all. So, but I did not tell Lagelu. But they now started planning. My contract was meant to end in September. They now created a group. They want to start planning for the next quarter. And I was they made me an integral part of that group to plan about program. I will not be around. Kó má bàa wá di wípé èèyàn ń dalẹ̀ àbí ó pé o ti raise their hope mi ẹ má fi mí sórí group o tí contract mi bá ti end ní September ending I'm not renewing no. He said, why won't you renew? What happened? I said, nothing happened. In fact, I called, before then, while I was talking with Don T, before I even met TJ, I called the CEO, Madam BC Ashimolo. I said, I want to see her. And then I met her. I said, I have an offer from another station. And I'm considering it. She said, no, you can't do that. He said, which station? Let me guess. He said, 32 FM. I said, how do you know? He said, because I know your brand. You are a funny person. So, and Alert is a humorous station. So, I believe your brand. I said, yes, you are right. 32 FM. They are talking to me. He said, what do they want to offer you? I mentioned it. He said, no, we can't do that. Or we can't match that. Or no. We can give you 30% increments. I said, 30% increment, mo calculate kò tó ń tán offer mi ò ní lè gbà o because mo ti fẹ́ marry mo need owó o. I told her all those ones. She said, you know what, I'm not sure we can do that. I said, okay, I will get back to you. I don't know, I get back to you, mo ti meet TJ, mi kàn ti make up mind mi pé mo kàn ti fọ́n pé ẹ má worry, mo ti wá. So when I now eventually told them that I won't be renewing, she now called me. He said, no, you said you will get back to me. Never, sorry, get back. So pé lè ṣe ju tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe lọ, mo dẹ̀ ti pé kò pay me and everything. She said they will do this, they will do that, they promised to do this. But then one thing I have learned is that once you have signed up, wọ́n tó bá sọ pé òun lọ, má tún wẹ̀yìn o. Tó bá ti wẹ̀yìn, ó fẹ́ lọ tẹ́ni o. Tó bá sọ pé òun lọ, tán á fi gbọ́ ọ́ léjìká pé o dúró. Tó bá fi ṣe mistake dúró, opportunity yẹn ti lọ. Tán wọ ọ̀kan tán rí pé mọ́tò tó fẹ́ gbé ẹ ti lọ. Ó ló fẹ́ lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Àwa dì pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. So èmi ti mọ̀ yẹn. But then I said, I'm so sure. And thank God she knows me that I'm a man of my word. Because after ìgbà tí mo ti sign contract pẹ̀lú wọn ní 1st of September ní 2015 yẹn, between that 2015 to 2017, to October tán ní kí n resume, within that month, òní Fresh pè mí. Fresh FM 2 was just coming up. Dr. Bayo just called me that Oga wants to see me. And then I went to Fresh FM, I saw Dr. Yinka Ayefele. And he told me, he said, I don't even know you. I don't listen to radio like that. I don't know you. But my people are saying there's one guy that will make sense if we add him to the team. And then when I asked around, some people say that you are good. He said, I'm glad, sir. He said, would you like to work with us? I said, sir. I'm off air, lóòótọ́. But then the truth of the matter is that I've signed another contract with Lagelu. Said, she will resume. Resume. Say, you can still do but you give them 1 month in lieu of notice. So that's true. But then let me get back to you. I have one weakness. Mi ò lè wo àgbàlagbà lójú kí n sọ no. I made a post on Facebook years back. Thank God I'm not a woman. Àwọn àgbàlagbà bá ti bímọ rẹ́kẹrẹ́kẹ́. Àwọn àgbàlagbà tó jù mí lọ, wọ́n bá ti lò fún mi lọ rẹ́kẹrẹ́kẹ́ because I cannot look at an àgbàlagbà like this physically. Mo lè sọ no lórí fóònù, but pé ká jọ wojú ara báyìí kí wọ́n sọ no sàgbàlagbà. Mi mọ̀ ṣe. Mo ṣe ń kọ́ nísìnyí. So I told him, sir.
Ta ló jù náà méjì?
Ṣé wọ́n bí mi dání?
Náà méjì.
Tó jù báwo?
Lọ́jọ́ orí.
Ta lè mi lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín.
Ní ọmọ kan béèrè ni.
No, ọmọ kékeré ni mí o. Ọmọ kékeré ni mí o.
Okay.
I don't my age is a public domain.
No, èmi kàn wò ni pé tó bá jẹ́ ó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ papọ̀. So Afouda, iye báyìí ni màá san.
Mo ti ń kọ́ nísìnyí, mo ti ń kọ́. Wọ́n sẹ́ hàn mí léwọ̀n, mo ti ń kọ́ o. Because but like I said then, I just told him that, sir, I will get back. And he said, okay, ro kò jẹ́ kí n mọ̀. And I met Dr. Bayo, I said, a ti sọ̀rọ̀ pé màá get back. Mo délé, mo rò ó, because like I said, Lágẹ̀lú ò understand the táwọn ṣe fún mi. But èmi mọ̀ pé mo owe wọn because wọ́n rescue me from a lot of, as in they rescued me from major career humiliation. They don't know it, but I know that I owe them. So I could not just say because of èló náà fẹ́ fi kún owó tí Lágẹ̀lú offer mi was 10,000. 100,000.
I can do 100.
I can do 100. But then, like I said, which was one thing that I knew truly, is that they have the diaspora appeal. There are other, whatever called other possibility of revenue generating avenue. He shall get the way he explained it to me. But I could not come back. I now sent a message to Dr. Bayo because I did not get his number and did not get my number. Dr. Bayo did not pay me. But I sent a message to Dr. Bayo, ẹ̀gbọ́n, mo ti ro kíní. Mi ò rò pé mo fẹ́ ṣe. I don't want to do it. Let me stay with. I've given them my word. I've signed for them already. A man's kíní kan bond is his or a word. Àbí wọ́n ti máa ń pòwe. Mi mọ̀ pé ó bí wọn nú gan. Later, I'm calling pé wọ́n bínú gan. Pé text message yẹn bí wọn nú. But like I said, so when Madam BC was telling me, because then I opened up to her, I told them that she knew. I don't know how she got to know. But Fresh FM pay me. He said, yes, they called me, but I already told them that I am with you guys. I am a man of my word. And she applauded me for that. So I already gave them my word. He said, but it could matter, you know me. When I give people my word, I don't go back on it. Because I gave you my word initially. When the other people called me, I thought, but I gave you the chance. Will you match their offer? You said you can't. And that was how we parted ways peacefully. Because there was something called end of contract allowance, which was that it was 2 years old. I think cumulative your salary 5% or something of it and everything. Mopari, and I wrote my letter. My this thing immediately when they sanwó me. So I had nothing. Like I said, Lágẹ̀lú came. I finished my contract with them. I ended well. They paid me my money, and everybody parted ways peacefully. And I moved to 32 FM, and then 32 FM was where God really showed up for me, because most of the things that I've always had in mind, I started Primus. I started, like I said, the People's Network evolved into Media Basics Academy, evolved into Primus, and then Primus started growing, and then my personal brand started growing too. And then people may not know, because I won't deceive you, the peak of my career in terms of popularity was at Space FM. Because we radio station gba yan ojú bóyá 5 àbí 6 lọ. So tó bá ti di 6:30 yẹn wọ́n ń jatari ẹ̀. 6:30 mo pé mo máa ń sọ pé ó kò ní kí ló kọ 6:30 níbàdàn èmi mo 6:30 to 7. I know I'm the owner of 6:30. But nígbà tí wọ́n fi máa di time yẹn session ti pọ̀. So I know that I was never able to hit that peak of popularity again. But in terms of building my personal brand and my personal, ó kàn máa ń ká mi lára ní pé ká ní sìngbà yẹn tí mo popular tí mo mọ̀ ń sìn ni mo mọ̀ nígbà yẹn tí mo popular ṣeré. Ìgbà yẹn tí wọ́n ti parí program mo lọ ń sùn lé ní lọ́bì kankan mi ò marketing kankan mi ò mọ̀ kò sí anybody tó market kò sí anybody tó fi kankan lọ mí èmi náà o ká ní sìn ni mo popular bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ni tí mo nǹkan tí mo a máa ṣe endorsement dànù but ìgbà yẹn nobody to put me through. didn't have anybody around me. The station was not looking in that direction, not looking in the direction of helping me anybody. All the concerns them is why I want to say the best all. And it was just a beautiful experience altogether. But like I said, 32 FM was where I really became conscious of who I am, of the opportunities at my tips, at my fingertips as a presenter, of what I can do, and then it opened my eyes to a lot of things. So then opening my eyes came with its own, I won't call it negative, came with its own effect, consequences. I just realized that, guy, you don't want to do this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but you used to become the brand curator.
Yes.
And you resigned.
I resigned.
And you were still there. You resigned as a brand curator, or you dropped the position as a brand curator, you went back to the pool before you eventually resigned. So,
yeah. No, what really happened was that, like I said, from the onset, even before I joined 32 FM, I knew that my priority, like I said, was my brand that I want to build. Like I said, my experience at Space FM taught me that don't joke with your personal brand, build your personal brand. And I knew it. And thankfully, I opened up to the management and they supported me from day one. In fact, before I resumed at 32 FM, I had my first book launch. That was when I clocked 30. I bow out. That was when I resigned from stand-up comedy. I bow out. TJ was not present. He sent the GM. He launched the book. And just for me to know that this man is fully in support of my career and anything that I want to do. And all through, he supported me fully. But then, I know that, yes, I have all it takes to be the brand curator. But I know that I have this particular baby that I'm tending to, which is my own personal thing.
That's Primus.
That's Primus. I know it's in a delicate stage. The opportunity rose initially. I declined. The first time, I declined. And then when it rose the second time, in fact, I already declined. It was the outgoing brand curator, Mr. Tayo, that called me and talked me into it. After he talked me into it, I said, okay. I collected it with a clause. He said, my business is there. And I don't want... anything about thing by me, can fit tembe. Etim fún mi ní yìí mi. Mi ní fẹ́ kó wá di pé òṣì ló ń ṣe. Níbi báyìí tó wá di pé ó yá máa lọ léyìn àbí pé ẹ wá máa ní kí n lọ. Tí mo bá try láti combine ẹ̀, màá try. Kó má dàgbà tó yẹ pé bọ̀bọ́ tá à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí láì pé wàhálà ẹ̀ fẹ́ máa pọ̀ jù. I'm willing to help this organization with whatever I have too. But then let me try and match it with my own. Tí mo bá ṣe for some time, tí mo bá rí pé kò lọ, I will drop it too. It was an agreement from the onset.
With Tayo Ogunade?
No. With the management, with the GM and the chairman and president, TJ. I told them, I will try it for some time. Tó bá lọ, I will do it gladly. But tí ò bá lọ, I drop well. And we agreed. And I tried it for like 4 months. But then, I'm a kind of person that I'll be overwhelmed and I won't be able to do anything. And I'm not the kind of person that sits in a place. And the process of brand creator, which doubles as the program manager, you have to be on ground, monitor program and do this. So I was doing that. I would just get to the office, I would just sit down and my guy from Primus will say, we need this. Because Primus is a baby. And I wear a lot of hats at Primus. I'm the graphic designer, I'm the chief marketer, I am the chief strategist, I am the this, I am the that. At some point, I was the editor, I was the many things that I was doing together at Primus. So my guy who was assisting me, Israel Babalola, Israel was telling me, say, hey, guy, we need this. Then I'm seeing mail from TJ. You need to attend to this. You wasn't saying yellow, not in traffic, and what time? I need the 5 minutes. The program come. I was becoming frustrated. And the truth of the matter is that everything is suffering. I was not giving my best to the brand curator position. I was not giving my best to Primus. Even personally, I'm feeling it that I'm not at my best shape. No way, it's not. I'm not that kind of person that patches things up. So when I called and I told them that I want to drop it, TJ was shocked. Said, are you sure? Do you realize that your salary, your this one will reverse to what it is? I said, mind Tayo. Let it go back to whatever I want to go back to. I don't mind. Saying then now at then some points, I think some people were like, how will it? I told a few people, I said, we hope you will be able to cope as the former brand creator now becoming an ordinary staff. Ṣé àwọn tó jẹ́ ordinary staff, does that mean they are inferior? They are not inferior to the brand creator or the general manager. It's just a position of authority. This job description ló yàtọ̀. So I'm
position of responsibility.
A position of responsibility, yes. So it's not as if because they are superior to. I never see my colleagues as being. Ká ní pé mo fi pé bóyá mo ti dọ̀gá sí mo ti wà superior sí wọn lẹ́nu lè má bà mí pé mo ń jẹ́ ká tún padà sí bá a ṣe wà tẹ́lẹ̀. Mi ò torí pé mo dọ̀gá kí n bá relationship mi jẹ́ pẹ̀lú anybody. I was still living my life. I was still being my normal self. So mi ò ṣe mọ́. And thankfully, like I said, I love him for that. He respected my decision, and they announced, and I stepped back to becoming my normal producer presenter. I'm no longer brand creator, and I was able to face Primus because, like I said, Primus were doing a lot of things that time. That was when we were working on the award was getting traction, the conference, the media night. I just could not manage everything together. And like I said, they respected it, and I went back to my position as a presenter, and I enjoyed myself till I left.
Till you left for Law FM.
Law FM, yes.
Kásáré sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Law FM kí n tó wọnú àwọn questions mi. Mo kàn fẹ́ ká ràn kíní ẹ̀ ká ràn ẹ̀ lọ kí n ṣe wá béèrè àwọn specific questions.
Law FM, I've always wanted to try Lagos. I've always wanted to experience Lagos because I had to talk Leko. Let me go and even experience this Lagos. But then, that was not the major thing for me. The major thing for me was that I was already gradually wrapping up my mind that I was done with radio. Okay. In fact, I stayed this long on radio because of my wife. My plan was that Timba 35, I want to leave radio. That was my plan. And that was when I clocked 30. I started planning that, let me start planning my exit. Primus. With the hope pé Primus yóò ti dìgbà kí n tó 35. Àṣé kò ní ti dìrún àṣé kò ní ti máa fún mi lówó. Okay, 4 to 5 years àti máa fún mi lówó, so màá ti lè dúró dáadáa, màá ti máa make salary mi from kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, so I planned it. But by the time I was 35 and it was time for me to pull out, I was able to, my program was just 1 hour daily at 32 FM.
What's Up Naija, 6 o'clock every day. So my wife was like, you have no excuse. This station is not saying you should not do what you are doing. So why would you want to leave? At least you know that's what we have been surviving on. So why do you want? He was able to talk me out of thinking of resignation. So I said, okay, let's do it. Let's keep doing it. But then I first said when I'm 17 that by June last year, I want to leave radio. And she agreed. We both agreed that I was going to leave by June. Then one day, we can since it is still, why I thought you could control the December. Make sure that by December you leave radio. At that time I said, okay, that's not bad. Coincidentally for me, I now got a call from Lagos, from my radio daddy, Flexi, who is still the CEO of Law FM. Say, guy, I will need your assistance here in Lagos, Law FM, as a lawyer who is also has been in the media. I need you to head some departments for me. Can you come across? I told him, sir, a meeting palẹ̀mọ́ radio, a meeting sọ pé radio mo fi radio lé any moment from now. I said, why? And I explained to him the pay. I just realized that the pay is not growing the way my responsibility is growing. Responsibility is in dàgbà ju pay lọ. This thing is not going to be sustainable in the next few years. I need to start planning now, and I need to start making my moves. And to now make the matter worse, a lot of things were happening in the media space that made it very toxic for me. And any small thing like this, they were just eating me, bashing me. I was going, kíni wọ́n ní. Ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú Primus.
Primus.
Bóyá kí n fi yẹn wọ ibi tí mo fẹ́ wọ, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin àti Dr. Yinka Ayefele?
Sincerely speaking, kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ju ohun tí mo ti explain yẹn lọ pé tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tán ni kí n bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ tí mo dẹ̀ ní pé mi ò that I've already signed for Lagelu. And that was it. Mo ṣáà mọ̀ pé I knew that because at times when I see posts Like, I never drop a comment. I see when he responds to some, when he has never responded, he has never liked my, so there's a possibility that this Egbon is not really happy with me. But but then that does not mean that I will see what belongs to you and I will not give it to you. But I bere Primus magazine. Lọ́dún yẹn long. The first edition it featured Ronke Giwa. The second edition was Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat, where we sat down to interview them. And then I think one of the first one for one particular year, I just like interview Dr. Ayefele now. And then I talked to my guy in his team, Kenny Ogumiloro. Kenny Abego, I go like interview. He said, write a letter, we'll do it this way. And was able to schedule the appointment for me. And then, unfortunately for me, it was not a visual interview, audio. And it was in that 8 o'clock, I was in his office, we're alone. Kenny took me to his office and I sat down with him and I interviewed him beautifully and he responded to me. Oh, and the magazine is still on our, okay, we lost our website, but the magazine is still there. That he sat down with me, told me his stories, told me some beautiful things about himself, and we published the magazine. So there was nothing, I think it was it before that or after that? I think it was after that. No, before that. I went to Fresh FM one day, and then I was with Kenny. Just called Kenny from outside. I think just came down from his office. Said, Kenny, come. Kenny, And Kenny said, Ogani, we have a Oga. And I got there and I prostrated, Gegebi, normal. Erasa. Afouda to insult me. Ní àpé mi ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní ìwọ ọlọ́run text message ọlọ́run send message burúkú kan sí mi pé gbé rárá pé kò rí. I was just trying to explain wọ́n ní àti gbà yẹn tí bá ti rí ẹni mọ̀ tí wọ́n ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ báyìí máa ń borúkọ ẹ jẹ́ ni. Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún mi. Kenny was there. Tí bá ti gbọ́ ẹni mọ̀ tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ báyìí mo máa ń borúkọ ẹ jẹ́ ni pé Afouda ẹ̀ wo pé kíní kan mo ní inú ló ń bí yẹn má bínú pé kò dẹ̀ wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o mo dẹ̀ bẹ̀bẹ̀ pé kán má bínú pé gbà yẹn mi ò mọ̀ ìfẹ́ sọ ni wọ́n ní àwọn tó wá torí ẹ̀ tó fi dá mi lóhùn sí àwọn wádà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ wá start tó wá ṣe ká ló ti wà mí ìbáni ọmọ nǹkan tó bá ti ṣe mí lẹ́ni ẹ má bínú sá and then he said ó ti tán náà nìyẹn and that was it. I think that happened before the interview. We sat down for the interview, everything was fine, very very fine. In fact, after that, I think it was when we were starting Lagos. I think when they were starting Fresh FM Lagos, that they reached out to me for Fresh FM Lagos. I gave them, that time I was, like I said, I've always wanted to try Lagos. I was enticed to go to Lagos. I gave them my terms, that these are the things that I would love to have if I want to move, if this is happening. And they said they would get back to me. It was, of course, it's always Kenny. Kenny's the, and I said, okay, I want this. I said, you get back. And they did not get back. And are you okay? Everybody move on. And there was nothing, no reaction from either camp or either party on that. Everybody moved on. We had a particular Primus Media Awards, one particular year. And me man feel pulsing because I know that things are clear. So I just sent to this same my guy, Kenny. Say, Kenny Alpha, our award is coming. The way the award is structured, we always write to CEOs of radio stations to sponsor categories. Thank God, we sponsor category imagine last year. we are right to media CEOs to sponsor categories. Do you think it will make sense? Do you think Oga will be willing or open to do that? He said, why not? Bring your letter. Write a letter to him, which we did. We wrote the letter, submit the letter, and then we did not hear anything about the letter from him. And then, sincerely speaking, it did not mean anything to me. Because like I said, if you are into events, you will know that if you send out 100 proposals, maybe 20 or 30 will come back with, 10 will be the one that will come back fruitful. And I mean, proposal could support me. It does not work that way. But I just noticed that something is off somewhere. Because what we're asking for to support a category is not what Dr. Ayefele will say is hard, is difficult, or times are hard, or something. It is a deliberate attempt. It's a deliberate withholding. And he won't deliberately withhold such if not that probably something was in his mind. But I mean, ṣáà rí inú mọ́ de olùmọ̀ràn kan n tẹ́ ẹ bá sọ síta fún mi ni mo mọ̀, and since tí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ kò sí ní lórúkọ ẹ̀. But I've noticed that tabati post, people will say you are hating on Fresh FM. Okay, how? When other radio stations are telling me that àwọn Fresh FM nìkan lẹ kúkú máa ń post, àwọn Fresh FM, Splash FM, àwọn big stations nìkan lẹ kúkú ń post, post àwọn kékeré. Tí n bá dé Splash, àwọn yẹn gan ti fẹ̀sùn kàn mí several times. Thank God for this my guy. He was one that was able to confront me one time. Ó yàtọ̀ pé guy ẹgbọ́ kí iná ló ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n lẹ́pẹ́ ìṣẹ́ báyìí fún mi ní how, for what purpose? Splash FM will say me, they gave me opportunity, they gave me platform, I work with them, we parted ways, so why will I want to do anything to tarnish the image of Splash FM? It doesn't work that way. I don't have anything against Splash FM. I explained to him. There was a time around there, I think I had another thing around the award concerning Splash. Pé wọ́n ní award pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn. And it was a general talk. At the award, I always give feedback. Because ojú mi rí tó pẹ̀lú award yẹn. Pẹ̀lú ká máa bẹ àwọn èèyàn. Kan tó nominate. Káwọn máa pé they don't want to, maybe because we are both in Ibadan. They see it as one local award, and when we now call for what's it called? Called for nominations. It's an open award, but we won't nominate you. In fact, the very first edition, we asked stations to nominate. The person that I gave the form to that time at Splash FM was Ronke Giwa, and she nominated on behalf of the station. But after a while, Ronke Giwa said we should give it to the, I don't know whatever happened. I think she said we should give it to the station, that the station should whatever. But then, the station refused to nominate. After Bayani, everybody nominate around. Nominate yourself if you are interested. Because it's like, after they nominate them, some people just be like, they want to nominate me. Be like, station force here. Okay, no. Station is not nominating anybody. If you are interested, even Grammy, as it is there, it's not forced on anybody. If you as a musician feel you deserve it, or you think you are interested in it, you will submit your nominations for it. And that is the system we adopt. However, one of the things we do at Primus is that we have executive members, let me say management members of radio stations. They are the jury. Àwọn ló ń decide ẹni tó win. Àwọn ló ń score votes àwọn nominees. I just realized that we sent people to gbogbo àwọn Splash FM staff tá a fi sí jury one way or the other. Ìsídà kan excuse ara wọn, ìsídà kan láwọn ò ṣe. It was only the GM that told me that he's not interested in anything award. That is Tunde Olawo. When I invited him to be part of the jury, that he does not believe in anything award, and that is not. But other people, I'm not. Is that come out that fún wọn ní kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, come out respond, àbí come out ṣe kí lórúkọ ẹ̀. I noticed the body language. I noticed that they are not interested, and I did not bother. So when I was doing my speech at the award, and I was saying that some people are feeling that we are local, that they don't want to, it's like we are appealing to them to be a part. They believe that their participation gives us credibility, and that does not just go to Splash. It goes to every other radio stations, every other person, even personal individual OAPs too. It's not, like I said, it's an open platform. It's not adding anything to me. It's not removing anything from me. But it's just a feedback that I gave. But it was later I now heard that Splash FM people felt that speech was directed at them. And that is very, very unfair. If there's anything I have in mind for Splash FM, it's nothing but love. Let me say this on this podcast. When we had the first edition of the award, kò sí category for Best Yoruba Sportscaster. I personally said, ẹni tó mú mi create a category yẹn was olórí sports. I'm not a sports fan. Mi ò gbọ́ sports. Mi ò dẹ̀ gbọ́ radio. Àfi tí wọ́n wà ní wọ́n tó lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kan. So I just stumbled on our program that day. Who is this person? Say, It was my Israel. Like, hey, you don't know Lori Sports. She was at Pensioners FM. I think she was still at Pensioners FM. Pensioners FM. I said, this guy is good though. We shall have any category for female. For Yoruba. I said, let's create a category. She was the one that made me create that category. All on there, I created a category. She submitted her entry for the category. At the entry, I said, there's one jury. But that one jury, I had send the father. One of them as the winner. Èmi gan fọ́ pé big guy is good to. In fact, I now had a chance to talk to later to one of these things. And I said, no, popularity does not equate this thing. That yes, Lamba and Kinekan does not. I was trying to say, me, I don't want to go into the details because I don't want to know. Consciously, I don't want to know the nitty-gritty of how they come about this thing. One time, sports presentation category, our 3 legendary senior sports presenters put them to decide. I know that when one for you ta ni ká mú, ìwọ score lápá ti ẹni, ìwọ score lápá ti ẹni, ìwọ score lápá ti ẹni. Ó dàbí boxing. Like with 3 scorecards, score, and then we put it together. King Lenny score 19B, or score Adema collated. That's how we decide the winner. And that is how at every edition of the award, Kato Bere, Mokoko Mbura, where I do solemnly swear. T-Mobile ever toward boy any of the computation that send this me. I be ever influence anything on concerning this award. Gbogbo tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan burúkú ayé Kolon je o se mi because I don't have any interest in anybody winning. I have my students, to just students of the academy. I have some very close persons to me. One of them is transparency. Transparency was very close to me. He was my student. And then I was one that recommended him for a job at BCOS. And he was doing so well at BCOS. I was proud of him. And when they nominated him for best political presenter, I was praying that he wins. But the result, they could win. Because especially because I knew that he was relocating. And that was his last chance. That was the last year. So if I had anything to have done, to be able to do to influence it, he did not win it. Tobi Ayinde is there. He's now with TVC. Tobi is now a guy. He started his sports career. He came to Primus as a physics teacher. He started his sports career as Primus. He started with our Primus Radio, Sports Kilo, Sports Arena, COVID, 5 minutes on this thing. So I was part of his career. Tobi has always been nominated and he has always been coming second. Oman Kamila like God, why? Tibo boy, you win. Those are my personal people, you win. And I've never been bothered to say I will never influence it. So because of, I don't know what they think. They now think maybe because they did not win, because I said something at my speech, or I felt they are doing something. I just started sensing that cold energy, or because of the blog. No, it's funny how people pick things that are negative. But they are positive. One,
Sherry support Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat.
Yes, so the very first edition of Primus Media Awards, Alhaji Oriyomi was the one that sponsored the most impactful presenter. Because Kato pitch category siyan, ama wo nǹkan tí wọ́n ṣe. But I pitch sí Uncle Yemi Sonde, I pitch most versatile. Because he presents in English, he presents in Yoruba, he does entertainment, he does politics. So where most versatile, most impactful, Alhaji Oriyomi has made a lot of impact. We pitched this to him, and he was willing, he was able to support. And I think we have 50,000 in the category. I think he gave us 100. I shall know that he gave us beyond what he was meant to give for just a single category for the first year. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Alhaji sponsored us. But at the end, there was an issue. Immediately after the award, Alhaji reached out to me. Meanwhile, I think I Gidigbo won like 4 categories at the award. Wọ́n la ṣòjóró pé ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn kan win kó wà lára presenter of the year. Meanwhile, presenter of the year ti wà ní Primus. Let me say this. Wọ́n ta fi máa ń ṣe nomination of presenter of the year. Wọ́n làwọn tó ní only number of categories, number of nominations. So ká ní pé from most versatile, most impactful, most kinikan, you have 4. Everybody ní 4. Àwọn tó ní 4 yẹn, àwọn là á ṣàjọ pé they are the nominees for the presenter of the year. However, lọ́dún tó ń sọ yẹn, which was the first year, double A of Splash FM he has 3 nominations. And we had 5 people per category. So àwọn tó ní 444 yẹn, àwọn mẹ́rin ni. Double A has 3. But the reason why we included double A in that category, which is our award is between 18 to 30. That was the year double A was clocking 30. So that was his final shot. I know there need 3 categories, only 3 nominations rather. So we included him. And our policy is that ẹni tó bá ti jẹ́ pé last year ló wà, tó bá jẹ́ pé there is a way we can help him to enter that category, we will. Especially tó bá jẹ́ pé space wà. And that was what we did. And when he called me, it was Sultan, their GM then, that called me. Say, Afouda, Sultan are my guy from, not even when I'm in UI, from SMPN days. So Sultan are my brother. Be a bro ni Sultan just see me. So Sultan come and say, Afouda, no, now you're cool, hold on, chairman. And he gave Alhaji ni pé no money Alhaji báyìí ló ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀. No kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Tí fi lè gba anybody tó tí fi lè mú ọmọ wa náà tó ní kí lórúkọ rẹ̀ kò yẹ kí anybody tó bá ní 3 nominations kó wà mí ní ẹ má bínú policy tiwa bá ṣe ṣe nìyẹn. And that was how that one ended. Then subsequently we started having issues regarding the blog. Tí ẹni ṣe pẹ̀lú award. Started having issues regarding the blog saying Alhaji believes that anything that casts his station in the wrong shadow is sponsored by somebody else. And the media those ni pé up till date, last time ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ media blogging primus, nobody has ever paid me or induced me in any way to write anything negative about anybody. I have a brain of my own. I know what it feels to build a brand. So why would I want to pull down your brand? Nto wa faja tó wá padà blow gbe ọ̀rọ̀ Akinyẹfa ló wá padà blow relationship with Alhaji tan yanyan. Alhaji is someone that I hold in high esteem because I felt guilty at some point. Kinde ló jẹ́ kí n feel guilty. Like I said, àwọn náà fún mi níṣẹ́ night on the rock yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn for years mi ra Alhaji rí. Rí. The first time I was at 32 FM. Nígbà tájọ tán wá join 132 FM. Mo introduce ara mi sí wọn jọ, he hugged me, he prayed for me. Mo ní kàn má bínú pé mi ti wà rí wọn láti jọ because àwọn tí ò ń ṣe àwọn tó fetí gbọ́ gan wọ́n sọ pé àga ìwà fún mi ní nǹkan ámbèlè tà sí ẹni tó ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn wọlé. Meanwhile ìgbà yẹn náà tún ní issue àwọn àti Ajímọ̀bí gbà yẹn pé how would it have been beautiful ká ní pé mo lọ kí wọn ní ìgbà tán wà ní kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ pé Agodi pé it would have been really, and that was what I had in mind, but mi ò rí ṣe. So I felt that I have that guilt. So like I said, they have sponsored the award. If there's anything, I should protect him. But I will not, because I want to protect his interests, now put another person's interest in jeopardy. Me and Akinyẹfa, we work together at Lagelu as a colleague. He respects me, and God knows that I respect him 100%. We had no personal relationship or anything rather than the decent colleague relationship. If you know him, he's a gentle person like myself. So, just reached out that morning. He said, hello, Afouda, I have a news for you, and I want it to be exclusive to you. I'm on my way now to drop my resignation at Agidigbo, and I want you to be the first blog to pick the story. I said, anybody that has a blog, that has a news site, so that when they give you exclusive, you are happy. It does not, I don't know what is happening. Meanwhile, before then, what's an issue? Microphone. For you to know where I have even gone to protect the interest, story here pick and primus. Anything to tabuku anybody in the media, I'm avoid it. My guy said, let's pick this story. Money no. Pick it. But we are saying we are projecting the beauty of media. The media now. Imagine pick it. So if nothing for microphone sound lady lórí site pick it ara. So ìgbà tí gbogbo yẹn ti die down kó tó di pé he now called me that he want to break the news and he want me to be the one to break it. So, oh yeah, well then okay. Be at alert. So I had to call story le. Then I had to sọ fún wa pé I want to drop a buy. káwa publish ni, and that was exactly what happened. The moment tán ṣe drop one test wa ni pé I've dropped my letter. Àwa dẹ̀ ṣá story sí. So apparently, I think what really happened was that Batan dropped letter. Maybe Alhaji was still trying to rein him in, to see how to talk to him, know how to make him see reason, and they saw the news was already going viral already. And unfortunately, it was on our blog. So they believed that we were working for Akinyefa. I worked with Akinyefa, but I've never worked for him. Just like any other person, till today, till tomorrow, Uba send the news to see me from anywhere. Nobody has ever sent a story to Primus except it is promotional. If it is transfer, but when you want to form any program, I'm now start anchoring a program about to work with PR relay. You have to pay for this, which happens really. Most just send your story and post it on your page. We will copy it from there. Later la padà já ọgbọ́n yẹn. Bàtà àwọn èèyàn gbé ká post nǹkan tá post ẹ̀ tán tí wàá di pé àwọn post ẹ̀ wá di pé bullet list, what's your source? Kìnìkan post it on your page, send us the link, we will repost from there. But like I said, later la padà já ọgbọ́n yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ rí gbàtọ́rọ̀ yẹn dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀. Alhaji ò bá mi sọ anything. Akinyefa ò sọ anything. Story lọ but dem mọ̀ pé comment section. Tẹ́ bá lọ orí page wa nísìn àti pin kìnìkan kan síbẹ̀ permanently pé any comment dropped on this blog is not our opinion and we have nothing to do with it. We cannot predict what the comment section will look like. O lè ní pé comment yóò lọ báyìí, kí comment lọ báyìí. Àti rẹ́ nìkan rí, ọ̀gá mi kan ti ní kí n bá wọn post story rí, tó jẹ́ pé from his own calculation, story yẹn máa favour wọn. Àwọn àti story jáde tí ò favour wọn, tí backlash wà, wọ́n padà ní ẹ̀wò táfùdá ṣe fún mi, ẹ̀wò táfùdá ṣe fún mi ní ẹgbàá mi. Ẹ̀yin lẹ ní kí n post story, ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ̀rọ̀ fún mi. Mo iṣẹ́ ń tẹ́ ní kí n ṣe ni mo ṣe, but like I said, he wrong. So we cannot predict what the comment section was brutal. Nígbà tá a post the story Akinyefa, it was brutal. And then people were saying we must hear from, people were insinuating, well, if now you no go comot, when they comot microphone for your mouth, when they disgrace you like that, when they do kinikan like that, when they say kinikan like that. So I've never been to the comment section to answer anybody or to respond to anybody. We just dey look, and then observe. And then so the heat was getting too much. That was Al Sultan, the GM of what's it called? The GM of Agidigbo. He now came to the comment section. He now said, "This man, all of you are just saying what you don't know. Do you know for how long they've been warning this man about overshooting time, about kinikan, about talking about do you know for how long they have been?" Isha explained. He has been doing it. Do you know kinikan? Stop saying what you don't know. And as a blog, you create stories from reactions and actions. And this is a management staff of Agidigbo in our under our comment section that is giving an explanation of what had transpired. Àwa dẹ̀ copy ẹ̀, a dẹ̀ kọ story jáde pé Agidigbo's GM responded. He said that the whatever happened is not the first time, blah 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 blah. But as a story yẹn, alẹ́jọ́ yẹn, I got home and then I saw Alhaji's call. And then Alhaji said, "Until Sultan sọ, opinion ẹ̀ ló sọ, it is not the stand of the station." And I said, "Well respected." He said, "So please help me pull down that story." Alhaji yẹn máa le díẹ̀ o, because ẹnu tí ń kùn wá. Àwọn fresh gang, a lot of them believe that a máa fi Agidigbo care àwọn pé we are supporting Agidigbo. I don't know where or how they come by that belief. Agidigbo believes that gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe fáwọn is that we are supporting Fresh or we are supporting Akinyefa. So we are in between both of them. Eléyìí ò fẹ́ rí mi látàn. Eléyìí bá rókù mi lórùn yóò wọ̀ sí, bá rókù mi mòjì yóò wọ̀ sínú ọrùn. Both of them just believe that I'm working for, and to me, I think that is a good thing. Yeah. So that means that my neutrality is not in doubt. So it never bothered me. Kò ní anything sí mi. But ìgbà tí Alhaji wa ní ká bá wọn pull it down, tá bá pull it down, àwọn èèyàn rò pé bóyá nítorí pé wọ́n ń bash yín ní comment section pé àbí pé story yẹn ò favour yín, àwọn ń tà láti London, àwọn ń tà láti ṣe kinní fún yín pé kò yẹ kó rí pé ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe rejoinder lèmi mọ̀ tán máa ṣe professionally pé that particular post was not the official position of Agidigbo, it is the personal opinion of their GM. Alhaji ní Afouda ò lè máa fún mi ní condition. You can't give me condition. Do what I ask you to do or forget about it. Alhaji brand tèmi náà ló wà on the line yìí. Àṣà nítorí pé mi ní fìtìjú kárùn tó pé mi fẹ́ dẹ̀yìn aláìdá lọ́wọ́ yín kí wọ́n á put tèmi ti fi life tèmi build kí wọ́n á put on jeopardy pé orúkọ tèmi gangan ló wà because of unfortunately as much as I try to disassociate myself as Afouda from Primus. But Primus is a separate entity. The more I try, the more it is not working. People are just trying to connect us together. Pé Afouda ni. But they explain. Wọ́n ní okay, Alhaji, you know what? We will pull it down. Tẹ́ bá ṣe rejoinder, àbí tẹ́ bá ṣe kí ló gbé, we will pull it down. Àmọ́ lórí page wa sọ pé story yẹn tẹ́ bá ń wá tẹ́ bá rí o. We have pulled it down because Agidigbo reached out and they told us that is not their official position. Whenever they are ready with their official position, they will let us know and we will publish it. Alhaji dẹ̀ ní do whatever pleases you. Wọ́n dẹ̀ cut it call. Àmì ọ̀ pé àgbàlagbà ni Alhaji, olóore mi ni Alhaji, jẹ́ kí ṣe kí ni, jẹ́ pull it down, and they pull it down. To save our own face, at pull it down because Agidigbo said that is not their official stance. When they are ready to make their official stance known, they will get back to us. Ibi tí wàhálà ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn. Then on several occasions, I think like on 2 or 3 different occasions, I would just receive Alhaji's call accusing us of trying to sabotage his brand. Ìgbà tí Sekinat Adegoke tó kúrò ní tó join Honor FM, we just posted that Sekinat Adegoke joins from Agidigbo because the last that I know of her, she was working at Agidigbo, not knowing that she worked at Agidigbo for a few months and she went off radio and came back again with Honor FM. But our only information here, we do not know. Well, she did not post it, Agidigbo did not post it, nobody posted it. Our Odesha Tinumoro, Ntabari social media lama post it. And immediately Ako, Mr. Ayedun, is a very good ally of Alhaji, and he was my colleague at 32 FM. And also pé attention mi sí pé irọ́ o, lady ti kúrò ní Agidigbo ti pẹ́ o. Kò ṣe kó l'Agidigbo tí kò l'Agidigbo ti pẹ́ o pé ó ti wà off radio. Okay, kí la máa ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún body story yẹn. Kò tí pẹ́ ta. Ó dà wá post ẹ̀ mi lẹ́yìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré tún body ẹ̀ kọ pé after leaving Agidigbo, she stayed a while, kìnìkan. But because the headline has been cached, F headline lẹ̀, that she leaves Agidigbo, something like that. So gbàtà Alhaji pé mo lè ṣàlàyé fún mo ní mi ò mọ̀. Immediately tí wọ́n ti correct mi náà látàrí correct story yẹn. Wọ́n wá ní pé towards the end, a ní we wish her all the best in the new phase of her professional journey. Pé ìyẹn insinuate pé station àwọn ò professional ní Alhaji ẹ máa pa mí. Alhaji kíní understand kíní jù báyìí lọ. Kíní ò it is just a normal expression. Wish her the best in the next phase of her professional journey. It has nothing to do with your station. Pé whether your station is professional or not. I try to explain. Alhaji ṣáà ní pé àwọn tó ń sanwó fún yín, àwọn tó mo ní àwọn tí ó ń push yín. Sẹ́rí tó máa ń pariwo Primus Ọlọ́run kan fún wa ni, Ọlọ́run kan magnify effort wa ni. Àwa méjì. Àṣẹ pé mẹ́ta lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta ẹni ni gbogbo a post news lórí Primus àwa méjì. And the other person, Israel, is somebody that is more professional than I am. Because when he was in campus, he was the president of campus journalists. So anchor headline, and he is good at it. And he cannot. Mo lè fògùn ẹ̀gbárí di ọ̀la mẹ́wàá. Israel is not that person that they will induce by anybody. And besides, he cannot write anything and post it without my permission. I was the editor-in-chief. So there's no way anything will go on that without my permission. But it's not possible. Israel kò mí ní ẹ̀bẹ̀. Alhaji ṣáà gbàdé ìjọ iná náà wá sọ pé àwọn ti rán yàn 5 lọ Mẹ́kà. Àwọn ti rán àwọn staff àmì 5 lọ Mẹ́kà. Àwọn ṣe post ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní but rí. Adema sọ pé anybody in any station, please, if you have any story that you think, send it to us. My DM is there. If your staff post the story and it's Oloja wà ńbẹ̀, lẹ́gbẹ̀gbẹ́ wà ń bẹ̀ tọmọ gbẹ́gbẹ̀gbẹ́ kan tó train tó bá di OAP ní station kan tó bá fẹ́ ká post yẹ they will send it to me anisọlọjà ní òyìnbó kan wá station wa báyìí kíní he will send and there is no day they send any of those things that are post here so àwọn èèyàn yín lọ Mẹ́kà táwa ò rí wọ́n la post ti yín ẹ̀yin àti Akínyẹ̀fà tẹ́ lọ Israel mo wá ní pé please let me even screenshot it to you pé gbà yẹn ìjọ yẹn akànjọ ń chat lórí àgbà tẹ́ dé Libya ni mo
mi lọ Libya
ìgbà tẹ́ ń travel
Ethiopia
ìgbà tẹ́ dé Ethiopia lẹ́mí àti ìjọ chat tẹ́ fi send mi láwọn pictures ẹ̀yìn àti tẹ́ni pé bàbá Kàndé lẹ́dẹ̀ and kíníkan pé àwọn ló sponsor kíní yẹn tá a fi sọ̀rọ̀ la fi post yẹn gbà yẹn mo ní these people that were on this journey àwọn fúnra lára wọn ló send the story sí mi kò sí bí mo ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀ àwọn èèyàn yín tó lọ Mẹ́kà none of them sent it to me there is no way I would have known it's not that pé kálẹ̀ fi mí sórí payroll nísìn tẹ́ wá ní pé bọ̀bọ̀ o post that means pé o mọṣẹ́ ẹni iṣẹ́ it's a different you are not paying me n tí mo bá rí ni mò ń post ẹ wá ní pé ìgbà tẹ́ sign ẹnìkan báyìí tẹ́ sign ẹnìkan báyìí post mo ní post yẹ n tó jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ nígbà tẹ́ sign Ọlásùnmádé Àkànwó tá a fi post was that ẹ̀gbọ́n Ọlásùnmádé Àkànwó is my personal friend orí page wọn mo ti di pé àwọn ti lọ sáà gidigbo la fi post yẹ ẹ̀yin gangan post sọ fún wa báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ ká mọ̀ ṣé kí n wá mú spy wá sínú kí n wá fi staff kan jòkó sínú station yín pé kó mọ̀ fún wa story látọ̀dọ̀ yín ni so those little and I will try to explain there is no time tí Ẹ̀mí àtàlájì sọ̀rọ̀ lórí phone in fact ìgbà tó pè mí nìyẹn Mẹ́kà ni wọ́n wà there is no time tá a jọ sọ̀rọ̀ tí mi ò búra I don't have any business doing that but I will always say it pé àlàyé tó wá jẹ́ pé èmi náà ṣáà ní business tí mo ń build tó wá jẹ́ pé for whatever reason mo ti jíjọ́ kan rí wọ́n á wọ pé lónìí yìí o for whatever reason mo fẹ́ bring down Alhaji mo fẹ́ post nǹkan kan tó máa pa Àgídìgbò àbí pa tó bá gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́mi náà ń build tọ́lọ́run gbà fún mi tí mo ń build kó gbogbo ẹ̀ náà bàjẹ́ lọ́wọ́ mi mo kò sí tí mo sọ láyé wọ́n ṣáà ní believe yẹn pé ẹnìkan ló ń push èmi náà pé ẹnìkan kan ò push so ìgbà tó wá di award 2024 ti before that one a ti ṣèkan rí tá a ná àwa ò kúkú bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan jà àṣẹ wọn ti ní pé káwọn ọmọ wọn mọ̀ dá sí wa àwọn ọmọ ti ní káwọn staff wọn mọ̀ dá sí wa mọ́ èmi ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ àwọn staff wọn tó send the entry fún nomination a dẹ̀ nominate wọn a dẹ̀ send ẹ̀ sí jury dẹ̀ mú àwọn kankan nu wọn in fact Kapi Flemzy Fẹ́mi Lérè Ṣítù ohun kàtígórì bíi ẹyọkan àbí méjì lóhùn wọ́n yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ kó wá gba award mo wá ń bá chat pé wọ́n ṣe alpha guy wà níjọ́ award plaque ẹ̀ wà lọ́fíìsì wa kó nǹkan kò sí ta fẹ́ fi ṣe o àkúníkẹ́ mú wá ń kọ̀ wá kò sẹ́ni tá gba £1 lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ fún plaque award come and pick it ẹ̀gbọ́n àdè come àgò come àtàwọn rẹ̀ pé ó rà pé bọ́ yóò fẹ́ wá kó máa dàgbà tá à ń fi award bẹ́yàn mi ò dẹ̀ sọ anything mọ́ that was 2023 àfi 2024 I think the memo did not get to one of their new staff Wúrọ̀ọlá and the lady sent and the lady is versatile the lady is good ó dẹ̀ wọ shortlist ó dẹ̀ wọ nomination a dẹ̀ tún publicize ẹ̀ pé most versatile presenter Wúrọ̀ọlá kìnnìkan from Àgídìgbò Sọ̀tá náà ló pè mí lọ́dún yẹn lọ́nlọ́n pé àwọn rò pé àwọn sọ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ ní anything ṣe pẹ̀lú àwọn ní àṣàṣà ò kí ló dé kí la fàdé bẹ̀ pé so station I nominate station one náà fún most followed station on social media and that one is by social media following pé àwọn ò fẹ́ ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Primus Media Award pé ká yọ orúkọ àwọn kúrò mọ́dẹ̀ ní ẹ lè sọ pé ká máa nominate station yìí o but see that OAP she filled the form voluntarily individually not under a station so if she wants to pull out from the award òun ló máa sọ fún wa pé òun ò ṣe mọ́ ẹ̀yin kọ́ lè máa sọ fún wa pé staff yín ò ṣe mọ́ does that wọ́n dẹ̀ nípa àwọn ti gbọ́ pé àwọn sọ fún pé kó send email ẹ sọ fún kó send email pé òun fẹ́ pull out ó dẹ̀ send email a dẹ̀ pull it out àgbà wọn yàn pé tó bá di pé mo wá Wúrọ̀ọlá lórí nomination list tẹ́ ẹ̀ rí tẹ́ àwọn ní pé Primus tún ti ṣòjóró fàlájì o n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ kọ́ leléyìí o Àgídìgbò lórí chat pé àwọn ti pull out of the award o and ever since then kò sí nǹkan kan kò sí èmi àtàlájì ò ní any issue in fact ìgbà tí Àgídìgbò di Àgídìgbò win first lórí MPS náà di first lórí MPS mo call Alhaji pé ká tiẹ̀ ṣe interview fún ọ ní Primus mo call Alhaji wọ́n ní nígbà pé wọ́n pick wọ́n wá send the message sí mi pé wọ́n wá send the voice note no wọ́n pè wọ́n wá ní pé kí n jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ later bí wọ́n wá lọ rò ó wọ́n fi lọ àwọn èèyàn wọn or something like that. Next thing tí wọ́n kàn rí mo pẹ́ kan gbọ́ voice note tí wọ́n ní pé Ọlọ́run jù yín lọ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá sọ pé kinní kan kí a lè fẹ́ máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi kí lẹ rò pé fẹ́ gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi ẹ rò pé fẹ́ máa gbọ́ àsìn kí ni èmi àtàlá ìgbà wo lèmi àtàlájì wá dì báyìí alájì èmi ò mà rí èmi ò mà but wọ́n he sent a voice note truly but instead of addressing pé how do you feel that your station in few years is now #1 station in Ibadan wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run òjò wá àwọn àṣebàjẹ́ láàrú wá fẹ́ pull àwọn dá gbàtí ìṣó kọ mi tọ́lọ́sí mọ̀ pé mi ò pull anybody down mo dẹ̀ ignore èyí tó wá dé pàbámbá rí ibẹ̀ wá ní ti oní local station ò ṣe local station kọ́lọ̀ ń ṣàánú akọ́lọ́mọdé àṣìrìn
ẹ fa nǹkan tó pọ̀ gan.
mi ò fa nǹkan kan o wàhálà àwọn náà bá mi fa nǹkan kan kọ́lọ́mọdé àṣìrìn ni Sàámú oníròyìn ń bò ń ló kàròyìn lórí TikTok tó blow tí ayédègbé meanwhile 32 FM wọ́n ń rọ̀nù news blog ní social media wọn tó jẹ́ pé there is a news department there is a social media department tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ń sync they work together to publish news èmi ikú sára wọn. Nígbà tí story yẹn tó break pé Àgídìgbò fọmọ yẹn lé employment àwa gbé ní Primus tó bá dẹ̀ ti di story Àgídìgbò wọ́n ti máa gbé story àwọn ọmọ but èmi ní pé ẹnìkan ipa kàtàmákìtì fún mi lówó and is a news in public domain lè ní kí n má gbé tí n bá ti mọ̀ pé mi ò bú yín mi ò dẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ ṣe nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n fọ́mọ níṣẹ́ adẹ̀kọ́ story yẹn ní Primus pé wọ́n ti fún Sàámú oníròyìn níṣẹ́ o Àgídìgbò has broken record they have what's it called set a new pace like adẹ̀kọ́ story wa láyé kìíní adẹ̀gbé. Meanwhile ọmọ ẹ̀kan ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o a week before that time onígẹ̀ kan ara àwọn staff wọn tó reach out sí wa pé òun ti fi ṣẹlẹ̀ o l'Àgídìgbò àṣekọ́pà ni àṣekọ́pà ni but she has never come on air to say I'm a copper. She presents their night shifts and she comes on air as the night shift show. She has what's it called now? A flyer on your page as your staff, as everything. So when she said, I have left Àgídìgbò, I'm moving to, I will reveal my next move. And she's, like I said, many people. And the reason why people do this is this. Anybody that is in the industry, wọ́n pè táwọn bá post here sórí Primus, many people in the industry will see it and maybe offers or people that are interested in their crafts may want to come for them. And now that you are off, how can you work with us or something? So I see that is an opportunity for them. And this is one of the ways I can use to support the industry. So I tell everybody about reach out to see no. Okay. I put here see orí kilo I post here. Afitalaji tún sọ pé afẹ́ borúkọ àwọn jẹ́ báwọn staff ń kó lọ́dọ̀ àwọn gẹ̀yẹ kan ṣe staff kọ́pà ni kò sí báwa ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀ pé kọ́pà ni kí báwo ni pé staff kúrò ní station yín ṣe di pa ń bà yín lórúkọ jẹ́ ṣé ibìkan kọ́là náà ti ewu kọ́là ti kúrò ní kò sẹ́ni tí ò ní kúrò station tó wà náà èèyàn kúrò station ṣe wá di pé wọ́n ń ba station lórúkọ jẹ́ it does not work that way but like I said ìyẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ so mo wà careful the following week or 2 weeks after ó ní ti Sàámú oníròyìn yẹn so gbà tán kọ story yẹn tán mo tún kà pé okay ó wà okay a dẹ̀ post here Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ jẹ́ kí wàhálà wà. However 32 FM wọ́n á fẹ́ post lórí page tiwọn and it's just normal in media that you can report a story from different angles. Wọ́n fẹ́ report from the angle tó máa promote Àgídìgbò which is normal basic business etiquette. You cannot be promoting another business on your own business page. Wọ́n wá mú story yẹn from the angle of the boy. Where the boy has become a viral sensation, the boy has become this, the boy has become that. He has done it so well that even a local station has offered him employment. Wọ́n fẹ́ dárúkọ Àgídìgbò. Like I said, it's a normal thing. It's a normal etiquette. Podcast ló gbé pé èèyàn lè dárúkọ brand, èèyàn lè dárúkọ on the radio. You don't do all those things. And on the media platform. So wọ́n dẹ̀ kọ́ bí mo ṣe kà á mo ṣe rí story funnily enough mo wà lára àwọn first people mo ṣe open social media Facebook níjọ́ yẹn ni mo rí story yẹn mo rí 5 comments mo dẹ̀ lọ ka 5 comments yẹn mo dẹ̀ pé nínú 5 comments 4 people out of them wọ́n ti ń ṣe what do you mean by local what do you mean by local mo ní sáwọn èèyàn ṣe wá fẹ́ ya èṣù báyìí kí ló ṣe máa dá wàhálà lẹ́mi tí ò sí wàhálà wọ́n wá comment sí ibẹ̀ pé mo ní don't try to create issues where there is no issue. Please refer to your dictionary to know the meaning of local and the way it was used in this sentence. Just saw something like that. mo fi respond sẹ́yìn kan nínú wọn mo ṣe wá ń post ẹ̀ tán immediately mo wá rí pé like 4 or 5 other comments náà tó ti ní problem pẹ̀lú local yẹn mo wá kúfẹ̀ kan comment copy comment yẹn mo wá post it directly ní comment section so apparently bóyá nítorí pé mo jẹ́ staff 32 FM àbí pé bóyá mo mọ àwọn àlórí page yẹn dáadáa mo rank dáadáa so comment mi ló wà lókè I don't know what bóyá yẹn ló fún Alhaji ní impression nígbà tán kà pé Afouda ló post kínní mi ò sí news department mi ò sí social media department 32 FM tí mo sọ lẹ́yìn kí n wọlé kí n present program mi ní 6 to 7 kí n bá àwọn èèyàn mi ṣeré ká ṣàwàdà ká ṣe kí lórúkọ rẹ̀ àbí tí I don't have time to sit around àbí pé kí lórúkọ rẹ̀ àárẹ̀ ti post ti one primus ní problem pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ bó ṣe wá di tèmi ní kí lórúkọ rẹ̀ so Alhaji went on air that day he said a lot of things about 32 FM pé àwọn kan tí àwọn ti ṣe kinní kan wọ́n Alhaji ṣá reacted the way he felt is the best to react and immediately 32 FM sọ fún wa lórí group pé please we see what is happening officially 32 FM is saying nobody should involve the station or should respond to that 32 FM is a peace loving brand pé nobody should respond to that but aláwọn ọmọ líle aláwọn SS4 kan lọ́dọ̀ wa bẹ́ẹ̀ pé tí yín lẹ sọ yẹn àwọn náà bọ́ta oníkálukú insinuations directly or indirectly wọ́n tà láti máa èmi ò sọ mi sọ ò jáde lẹ́nu mi àfi tí mo kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gba call hello Afouda you have to be very careful Alhaji ń bínú gan o ẹnìyẹn wá ní wọ́n fẹ́ forúkọ bọ ẹnìyẹn láṣìírí ẹnìyẹn wá ní pé that was what the person said tó jẹ́ kẹ́rù bà mí díẹ̀ pé I know pé inú Alhaji ń ru ni náà jẹ́ kán sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àmọ́ ibi tán ti sọ àwọn eye service lè pọ̀ ńbẹ̀ àwọn tálàjì ò ní bẹ̀ ń ṣẹ́ tí ó fẹ́ ṣe eye service fàlàjì tó wáyé pé àwọn ló máa hàmù ẹ pé Alhaji sọ pé bá díẹ̀ dà mí lẹ́gùn nù bí mo bá fọ́ lẹ́yìn kò léwọ̀ pé wọ́n slow àwọn slang yẹn pé tó rí mi pé is ready pé àwọn tí ń ṣe látijọ́ ẹ̀ táwọn ti ń gbójú eléyìí ní òfin ṣàṣemọ eléyìí làwọn òfin fi jófin eléyìí làwọn pé ibi tán dẹ̀ ti sọ gbogbo àwọn guys tó wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lè fẹ́ ṣe eye service fàlàjì kan lọ harm mi ni you need to be very careful wọ́n á gbọ́ ìwọ̀n àwọn pé how kí ni tèmi kan local kí ni tèmi kan 32 FM in fact immediately mo screen munch message yẹn mo send ẹ̀ sí GM mi pé help me inform the chairman what is happening wọ́n ní pé what do you want us to do money nothing for now I just want you to be well informed because I did not do anything and I was not planning to do anything another person tún pè mí Afouda wà careful Alhaji ń bínú gan this time around o Alhaji sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí Alhaji mi rí k'Alhaji bínú báyìí rí o ní èmi ti rí t'Alhaji ti bínú rí àmọ́ ìmọ̀ rẹ̀ pé ẹ̀yìn náà ti rí Alhaji ti bínú rí mọ́dà ṣe bínú níbi tẹ́mi ti rí I think that was the highest fọ́nà ìgbà sọ pé òun rí t'Alhaji ti bínú báyìí rí mo pé ó dà pé wàhálà wà lóòótọ́ o so ìgbà yẹn I started getting apprehensive pé ó dà pé wàhálà wà lóòótọ́ o but still mo sì ní kí n maintain steeze mi pé wọ́n ṣáà dárúkọ mi ṣáà gbọ́ àwọn èèyàn ń fún mi ní third party kínní ni ìgbà tí backlash wá ń wà fún ọ̀rọ̀ local or no local yẹn many people are saying ṣáláàjì fẹ́ sọ pé àwọn ò mọ̀ pé local as used in that particular context does not mean a primitive station ṣáláàjì fẹ́ sọ pé àwọn ò mọ̀ ni when this thing was becoming too much Anisọ lọ́jà tó jẹ́ head of station head of news àbí head of programs ní Agidigbo he now had the F13 why I said he had the F13 is this ìgbà tí gbọ́dọ̀ yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀ Ako tájọ wà lọ́fíìsì like I said is a very close ally of Alhaji wọ́n sọ fún Ako pé Ako ẹgbà míì Alhaji máa ọ̀rọ̀ àrẹ̀mí àti Alhaji máa ti ń di nǹkan míì Ako kan máa rẹ́rìn Ako ní irọ́ ni Alhaji ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá lè rí Alhaji one on one tẹ́jọ jòkó sọ̀rọ̀ lónìí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa settle bó mo ṣe wá fẹ́ rà Alhaji wọ́n ní kí n schedule appointment pẹ̀lú wọn náà mi ò dẹ̀ mẹ́lò mí bẹ̀ tí mi àti ẹni sultan látún relationship gbà tọ́dọ̀ tí ẹ ti di ọ̀rọ̀ oní news Akínyẹfà yẹn mi mọ̀ bóyá backlash wà fún ní station sultan ò kí mi mọ́ apàdé níjọ́ kan níwájú kí ni ó ṣe bí pé òun ò rí mi wọ́n lọ́wọ́ aṣáánú mi lórí ohun tí mi ò gbowó ń bẹ̀ báyìí tí sultan tó jẹ́ pé àbúrò mi tó bá rí mi tí ó yọ̀ mọ́ mi ó ti bá mi change táyà mi rí inú UI tí mo lọ fún conference àwọn SMPN tí táyà mi jò òun ló bá mi change táyà yẹn owó tó máa ń ṣe dáadáa sí mi ló wá dánwó tó rí mi sí tó àmọ́ lọ́n ti gbéga ó ti di GM ó dẹ̀ ti di big boy pé bóyá ìyẹn tún jẹ́ ìdí òfìsì mi ṣáà pé ọlọ́mọ pé mi ò ṣẹ́ that was my justification ọlọ́mọ pé mi ò ṣẹ́ mo kàn believe pé ìjọ ìmọ̀ ni kò rí mi ni tó bá rí mi dáadáa yóò kì mí that is one thing I believe so èmi kàn ṣe àti so Anisọ lọ́jà was the only person tí mo mọ̀ ń bẹ̀ on several occasions mo ti send message sí Ọlábọ̀dé Anísọ̀lọ́jà pé I want to see Alhaji wọ́n ní pé tí n bá rà Alhaji pé tí n bá lè rí wọn one on one tá bá jọ sọ̀rọ̀ kí ni màá settle pé please help me schedule appointment ó ní we will do it at some point mo ní pé I need it to be done he now said Alaye is not in town once he comes around I will let you know mo tún wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí message ṣé wọ́n ti dé ni then he's back but I think he's in a meeting let me at some point it became obvious that probably he has tabled it before Alhaji were open to meeting me ni o mọ bí ó ṣe máa convey ẹ̀ sí mi so I just excuse that for him pé so he knew the step that I've taken on several occasions to meet with Alhaji to explain myself again and to let him know that I have nothing against you òun ló wá sí comment section ló wá sórí Facebook tó wá ní Alhaji is reacting like that Alhaji reacted that way because of what Afouda has been doing that thing pained me ó dùn ẹlẹ́dàá mi pé ẹni tó mọ ni ló ń ṣe ni you know how this thing has been meanwhile all that time when that thing is happening ó sì máa ń send the story sí mi o ní story àgídìgbò pé òyìnbó kan I remember that òyìnbó dáadáa cause mo mọ̀ pé ìyẹn mo tiẹ̀ mọ ẹ̀mí àtàlà mo kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹjọ́ mo fi mọ rántí tòyìnbó yẹn dáadáa pé something happened at àgídìgbò tá a ṣe máa post ẹ̀ and I was telling you that I want to meet Alhaji I want to explain I want to clear this misunderstanding and that is the one I've always talking to olówó tún wá sórí social media wá sọ pé it is Afouda the way he has been trying and that is the reason that post he intended that post to bring me down say it's Afouda and that is why it's in the bad books of stations like Fresh FM like Success FM like he now listed some stations now since that he wá ní confidence àti jáde láti dárúkọ mi I think is wọ́n ní tán èèyàn bá lówe òjò òwe èèyàn á jẹ́ pé ẹrù jà ń bá èèyàn ni I'm not going to fight anybody but I will pursue this so that was when I did a live video that I addressed the issue and I did not just address that I addressed the issue I had with him he had with me the issue I believe Ayefele had with me the issue I believe Bayo Faleke he also had issues with me èmi àti Oriyomi Sonde he had issues with him but àti padà settle ẹ̀ bàbá sọmọ bàbá báyìí mo ti pè wọ́n nígbà èmi fúnra láì mo make sure pé wọ́n ní Afouda ò sẹ́yìn mo ní mo mọ̀ pé ẹ ń bínú sí mi àmọ́ tí mo láti ṣe ńgbà yẹn mo láti ṣe not that pé kí ló pẹ́ mo sọ fẹ́ nìkan nígbà tí wọ́n á ṣe fídíò yẹn mo sọ̀rọ̀ kan mo ní I always call them to apologize ẹnìkan ní you to stop doing things that will be making you apologize wọ́n ní pé ibi tẹ́mi ti wá tágbàlagbà bá ṣe ọmọdé ọmọ kékeré ní wàá apologize bọ́mọdé bá ṣe àgbàlagbà ọmọ kékeré ní wàá apologize wàá sọ tinú ẹ o but at the end of the day wàá sì ní ẹ má bínú ni sà bí mo ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísinsìnyí tí ń bá Alhaji máa jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé bá rí Dr. Ayefele máa jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé ń tẹ́ ṣe lélẹ̀ but at the end of the day ká tó kó ń bẹ̀ màá sì ní ẹ má bínú sà that is my own upbringing so tí máa sọ pé kágbàlagbà má bínú it's not that pé bóyá mo ṣe nǹkan kan tí ò dáa ló jẹ́ kí n ní kán má bínú no it is just my own culture and my own upbringing pé ẹ má bínú sà so I did that video and then somebody called me a very prominent politician he called me and he said má jẹ́ kọ́rọ̀ ìtàn bẹ́ẹ̀ o because àmọ́ ibi tó lè dé o go to the DSS go and report I wrote a petition to the DSS I have one of my classmates that is one of their guy in DSS in Abuja I called him up guy how far he said Alhaji is out of town tó máa fi máa dé pé tó máa dé àwọn invite wọn or anything and I was trying to follow it up before somebody that I respect a lot called me said Alhaji ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ inú ló bí wọn táìmù yẹn he can't do anything àwọn boys wọn lè ṣe nǹkan kan say since let it go so káníwọ̀ ènìyàn bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ léèní or àná mo wá lọ àǹkọ̀ bẹ́ríà kan mo ń ṣe MC lọ́wọ́ Alhaji wọlé àti àwọn boys wọn mo dẹ̀ ti gba àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀gá wa ló wọlé dé yìí mo dẹ̀ hail wọn mo dẹ̀ sà wọn mo dẹ̀ kí wọn dáadáa in fact wọ́n wá síwájú wọ́n wá kí mi àdẹ̀ kíra wa wọ́n dẹ̀ padà sórí ààyè wọn gbà tó lórin dẹ̀ ń kọrin mo fọ́ lórin lọ́wọ́ lórin pé Alhaji Oriyomi Hamzat ti wà nulẹ̀ o kí wọ́n o dẹ̀ kọrin ó dẹ̀ kí wọ́n Alhaji dẹ̀ ní kán wọ́n wá fún olórin lówó wọ́n ní kí kan lára àwọn ẹ̀sán kó wá fẹ́ mi náà ní owó ó sì Alhaji fún mi 20,000 that was after the video after the list ìjọ ìmọ̀ dẹ̀ tún lọ bá wọn ó ní Alhaji I know that there are a lot of issues I would like to trash it with you ẹ fún mi ní appointment mo fẹ́ wá rí yín lọ́fíìsì yín níjọ́ yẹn gangan and he said I wan travel ní the following day wọ́n láwọn travel out of the country táwọn bá ti dé àwọn ò jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ a máa fix time tá a máa ríra mo dẹ̀ ń monitor wọ́n fi lọ wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe dé ìmídé tí mo wọ́pọ́n ti dé ó dà pé after a week or two kí n tó mọ̀ pé ó dà pé aláàjì ti dé o ó dẹ̀ send message wọn pé aláàjì ẹ ti dé o alpha àfi tó bá respond lọ́la wọ́n dẹ̀ respond mo dẹ̀ pé ọlọ́run mọ̀ pé mi ò ṣẹ̀ wọ́n and the way he reacted to me that day o nípa tíyẹn o tí wọ́n kí mi dáadáa tán dẹ̀ tó ń bùn mi lówó èmi believe pé kò sí problem wọn kàn wò pé kó ní kálukú wà ní orí ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ni kò sí ikú tí ò ra díẹ̀ tèmi lọ́rùn gbà tí ṣe pé wọn lálàájì jẹ mí lówó àbí pé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ni so I believe there is mutual I don't believe there is any problem amongst us as of today o mi lè sọ tí ìmí bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́la but èmi àti aláàjì ò ní as of today like I said based on that premise so èmi ò rò pé a ní any problem.
All right. Finally, gbogbo nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣó ti discourage yín ni àbẹ̀ ṣe ń continue?
Nípa ìwé
Primus.
No.
The blog.
The blog is still there. Am I discouraged? Very, very, very discouraged. Several times I've tried to see what more I can add because I realized that the major problem is that the blog is primarily centered on Ibadan. Torí pé mi náà dẹ̀ wà Ìbàdàn wọ́n ti rí mi tán sí finish náà máa ń pè lóyìnbó wọ́n ti rí mi tán station kan ní effrontery láti sọ fún àwa wípé don't forget that they are not paying for these things o and what was the idea of Primus? How can presenters be talking about? Let somebody be talking about presenters too, reporting the reporters. Let's report them. Let's let them become. Let's just. And it was beautiful when we started, and everybody enjoyed it, especially the young ones, because it elevated them. They felt like celebrities. Everybody feel okay. We are covered and everything. So, what eventually happened? Like I said, it really disturbed me. It really disturbed me. A station was telling. Someone was telling me they now saw the award as pé táwọn bá ti pull down award yẹn àwọn ti báyé Afouda jẹ́ Afouda ò rí nǹkan kan ṣe mọ́ so àwọn lè lo award yẹn as the bargaining chip any small thing sister Gidigbo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àṣàkáṣà yẹn pé we have pulled out of Primus award there's another big station kẹ́ forúkọ bù wọ́n láṣìírí tí mo gbọ́ pé àwọn náà sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ pull out àwọn sọ pé but àwọn kan sọ pé kọ́mọ́ ti pull out another station wọ́n sọ fáwa pé gbé story wa dáadáa mọ́ lórí blog yín o in fact gbé story wa dáadáa mọ́ lórí blog yín o àwọn staff mi gan ti ń complain in fact wọ́n ti sọ pé tó bá continue báyìí àwọn ò ní participate in the next award. I've never been insulted in my life. I started that award in 2021. Why did I start the award? Because I've always loved award, but I hate the idea of going to solicit for votes. Pay vote for me, checking. However, nígbà tá a fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀, there was no money. So how can we do this? Paul Alashi ló fún mi láì idea pé you can sell categories now. People should sponsor categories. But then, owó yẹn ò ṣarajọ. Àwa create 5 categories. A pè ní viewers, listeners' choice. And listeners' choice is voting category where people will vote with money. So we did that for the first year. I think we did that. I'm not sure we did that the second year. And then we stopped it altogether. No more final in your full voting and everything. So that award was to encourage the industry. And we have used that award, like I said, to motivate, to encourage the industry. And we have a lot of people that I can point to that are doing so fine. And some of them will tell you that after the award, I got a new job placement. After the award, I got encouraged. After the award, it boosted my confidence. The award really did that. So that was just the reason. I have never finished that award. 100,000. We spent millions. I'm tọrọ owó kiri ni. I'm tọrọ owó kiri lọ́wọ́ àwọn pé please so support the award o, sponsor a category, sponsor a category, buy so that we can get money to organize this award, to do something classy, something that we can be proud of. And then say, none of them has ever paid. It was a particular year. Ó dà pé year kíni yẹn náà. Mo sọ pé nominees tún lè sanwó gba nomination. Sanwó kí lórúkọ mi mọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ year yẹn. This year nominees will buy tickets. That was the only year ever tí nominee ra tickets. Nominees, we give them tickets, we give them one complimentary ticket. You want to come with your daddy, you want to come with your mom, you want to come with your boyfriend, take 2 tickets. So for you and one extra person, love fair. So there was nothing you are doing for me that is what's it called? There's nothing you are doing for me that is as if you are giving me money. So why do you think you have the effortry to come and be telling me that if you are not posting us on your website, on your blog, we will pull out of the award? Because life may depend on the award. So I'm not discouraged, but I have learned to re-strategize. By God's grace, this year we are planning to have the award outside Ibadan, in Lagos.
Okay.
And it's no longer a city-based. The first year was Ibadan alone. Now, after that year, it has been Southwest, from Ekiti, Ondo, Osun. But this year is going to be a national award. And we are trying to solicit. I prefer to go and beg outsiders, beg people that does not know me to support. Now, support, fine. Me want support, fine. I have my work, I have my job, I have my business, I have everything going for me. The award is just my own contribution. And of course, if you ever say to buy your extra, it will be a pleasure for me to make a from it, that I'm helping people and I'm getting helped. But so far so good, I have never been helped, and I'm still on it. But I will not allow anybody subject me to or think that they have my life in their hands just because I'm trying to support. Because tomatin ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n náà wá tọ̀ lọ wá ní nǹkan kan mẹ́wàá tí ọwọ́ ń get in bẹ́ẹ̀ pé lè mọ fọṣẹ yí báyìí kó dẹ̀ sì takú pé dandandandandandan àwọ̀dì yìí lòun ó ṣe, that means pé ó rìn kankan bẹ́ẹ̀ àfi tí n bá rìn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ló kù. I'm not getting anything from this year. I'm trying to do the award in Lagos. We still have the same categories, but now we are restructuring everything so that it won't have to be as if we are looking at anybody tó bá fẹ́ support wa nínú àwọn ọ̀gá wa tó ti ń support wa. Like I said, shout out to the chairman of iFlyer. He's always supporting. Shout out to the chairman of Agbaletu TV. He's always supporting. Shout out to the Uncle Yemi Sonde of Yes FM. He's always supporting. TJ has always supported from day one, always sponsoring a category. That's the chairman of 32 FM. Shout out to Oriyomi Hamzat. He supported once. That was the first edition of the award. So our chairman stations to bá support àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn, àkí wọn. Àwọn táwa àìmọye àwọn táwa dẹ̀tẹ̀ fún ní proposal tí ó support. Ìyẹn ò dẹ̀ ní kọ́ ọmọ wọn má gbà award. Ìyẹn ò ní pé ká ní pé station wọn ò ní gbà tó bá deserve ẹ̀. Ìyẹn ò ní pé ká blacklist wọn, nothing. So it's a free world. It is a welcome idea. But now we have expanded it. Instead of 21 to 30, it's now 18 to 35 years. And it's a national award. And it's open. Everybody, if you think you deserve it, nominate yourself. And we are talking about that sort of tash last meeting. Oh my God, Lord, oh my God, Lord, money. Nobody gave us targets. Tí a bá rí owó pátápátá, a máa ṣe online. Ẹni tó bá ti gba award wọn, send the address rẹ̀, ká post the plaque yẹn sí ẹ. Tó bá fẹ́ di kàràǹgídá, kò sẹ́ni tó fún mi ní pé tó bá ṣe wàá kú. Kò yẹ pé bóyá tí mo bá ṣe mo fẹ́ rówó kankan bẹ́ẹ̀. It's not a thing of where my pride or my ego is at stake. My ego is intact. Because like I said, God has always blessed me with options. I have a lot of other things working for me. So tó bá ṣe bí ò bá ṣe pínrín kò sóṣì, to the glory of God.
Ó ga jù.
Ó ga jù.
Mo ṣe dákẹ́ látẹ̀kan.
Ẹ wo.
Industry yìí ó lágbára.
Industry èmi ti fílẹ̀ fún yín o.
Ṣé mo wà ń bẹ̀?
Ẹ̀yin sì ṣe program lórí rédíò. Èmi ti fi rédíò lẹ̀ láti December 25th of December 2025 was my last time on air at Law FM.
All right, Afouda. Àwọn part kan wà tá skip. Mo wá fẹ́ ká kàn sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Nígbà tí mo ní kẹ́ dárúkọ àwọn comedians, nígbà tí ẹ̀ ń struggle as a comedian, àwọn orúkọ kan wà tí mo expect. Ẹ dárúkọ Lafop. Now nígboro mo expect orúkọ bí Pétérù.
No. Nígbà tí mi fi bẹ̀rẹ̀, I started stand-up comedy 2006. I'm not sure Pétérù had started that time. If he had started, I was not aware of him. The first time tí mo gbọ́ Pétérù was 2011. Nígbà tí mo wà ní Jesus Chancery. It was an event and they invited Big Bolaji. And Big Bolaji came with Adétòun and Pétérù. So Adétòun sang and then Pétérù came in. He performed before. I was the MC because I'm in the MC church. I was attending RCC Jesus Chancery ní Awólọ́wọ̀. So Pétérù now introduced Big Bolaji. So Adétòun came in singing, Pétérù came in, he performed, he now reintroduced Big Bolaji. That was the first time I met him. I saw him, but we had no relationship before then. And even after that for a long time, we had no relationship. And the other time that we met, it was not we did not have a very good he critiqued my event, and did not critique it objectively or constructively. It was more like he mocked my event. And people around me know something. The shortest cut to my heart is when you receive me and what I do. And the shortest cut out of my heart to get me angry is when you talk down on me and what I do. It's late now, but thankfully, before his demise, unfortunately, we became cool. We met at several events, and we gisted like brothers. But that time, I could not sit with him in a chloroquine because, like I said, my very first close encounter with him, I was deeply hurt. It was at Girovans. One of our guys, Kudos Lala was a copper. He came to serve in Ibadan, but he was close to one of my friends, Professor Apu, who was also a comedian and an MC, still an MC till date in Ibadan here. So Kudos Lala knew that he didn't really know the terrain, so it was Professor Apu helping him with a lot of things. And so we all went there at Girovans to support him. He brought one young chief. That was a comedian from Warri that he headlined the concert for him that year, even though it was his own concert. And that was where a lot of comedians came together, many comedians. And that was where I had a one-on-one encounter with Peteru. And the first thing he said to me was that, now this guy, they do one nonsense show for Bodija way with one poster, like Babalawo, so one dead poster like this, see design. He just because I was sharing flyers for my next show. Say, can you imagine flyer? See how flyer BC design. No wonder. See, no put my name for this kind of year show. No, I won't be the best before say, they invite me. I better not invite me for this kind of year show. Say, you invite me, I not go come. Say, meanwhile, that was the first time I was meeting him. But before that time, I had invited Eteye. Eteye is another comedian in Lagos to my show at Fun Factory, Laugh and Roll with Afouda and Friends. And that Laugh and Roll with Afouda and Friends is a family comedy show. But I love, one thing that I've loved from the onset is me, for flyer me. So if I don't have a one-on-one, I know I don't have much money to give. So if I don't have a one-on-one relationship with you, I will not even put your name on the flyer, talk less of invite you to come and perform at my event. Because I don't like the no. I have my guys that will always call people up at any point, at any time. So Anirawa, Yemi, Thompson Lawyer, Professor Apu, Lopesito. Professor is now in US. So Ekokan, we bring people from Lagos. So it was Eteye that year. Eteye now said his brother Dibas was having a concert at Lighthouse in Samonda. So by the event, right? We work on Kosinimoto, Professor Apu. We were going to Lighthouse, and it was Dibas event. And then we met Big Bolaji. Big Bolaji was like the mentor of Peteru. Everybody knows that because they were always together back then. So the batch Woleba Eteye na very, very extroverted person. So if you enter place, make you don't know. Say first day. Eteye just tell people like say, now for that show I come, he's the one that brought me to Ibadan. He's doing big things. So what Bolaji said that was that I don't know where that came from. I don't know what he has had. But then I just greeted him, and he greeted me and say, life you rebel, le ma se kini kan any dara yin o when you are still growing. Kiju ke ma form kakos lo. I'm an introvert person. I'm an introvert, extremely introverted. Iṣẹ́ tí mo ń ṣe ló ń gbé mi jáde. And while I was on campus, like I said, about lẹ́yìn àwọn churches tí mo ń lọ àtàwọn tí mo pàdé, Lopesito, Professor Apu, Thompson Lawyer, church láti pàdé, Professor Apu àti àwọn tá a pàdé splash lórí Madhouse. Àwọn tí mo tó wọn bá kiri náà nìyẹn. Àwọn tó through wọn mo fún wọn meet, àwọn tó kù mo invite wọn sí radio show mi gbà yẹn ní Diamond FM tí mo máa ń ṣe, tí mo máa ń invite comedians bí tí mo ti mọ àwọn few people tí mo mọ nìyẹn. So that accusation really hits me, but I could not place it until ìjọ tá wà ní Dirovans yẹn Pétérù wá ní ẹ̀yìn tí show tí you invite, don't put my name for this kind of show tí o ṣe kìnìún náà tó ń form caucus. He used that word caucus again, then it dawned on me pé there is a correlation. Probably is the one that has fed Bíbọ́lájí with that pé àwọn kan form caucus ní Bódìjà. Agbowó mò ń gbé mo kàn lọ ń ṣe show ń Bódìjà mi ò mọ̀ bí kankan Bódìjà lẹ́yìn pé mo lọ fún factory mo ṣe show mi. So for that, and he said don't invite me to your show if you invite me to this kind of show. So that's why till all my life, all the show that I've ever organized, even when we became cool, I never invited him because my mind was that until he uninvited himself, until he reinvite himself, guy, how far your show? When make I come? And unfortunately, eventually did. But unfortunately, God did not destine it that it will be. Because my show, that's the Primus Media Award now, 2020, I think 2023 or 2024. I can't remember which one. I did not invite him. But we met like a week or after the show. He said, it's so painful. Say he was ready to start coming to my show, that he wanted to come and surprise me. He said he was ready to come and surprise me that day. That I think he said somebody called him for a show in Abeokuta or something, that he was already ready to just come and surprise me, that that I'll be shocked if he comes. So he will not talk about that. I don't even know if you remember that part, because me, I know they talk. So as he was saying everything that night, I was boiling, I was pained, I can't remember even if I shed tears, but I did not say a word. I think it was something like that I just said, after that, let's come up for a year. I didn't take me out of that place, because that day I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, I don't know how to react, I was pained, but I did not say a word. So I don't know if you remember that particular night, but that day I made up my mind that I will never invite this guy until he invite himself. So like I said, he eventually said he wanted to come. So I now made up my mind that next time, he said, even though you don't invite me, you just say it, even though you don't invite me, that day I don't make up my mind, say, I go come shock you, I'll come surprise you. But that day, as I was planning to come, now he come. I think he said from Dr. Smile or somebody to go and represent him somewhere, to go and stand in for him somewhere, that was why I could not make it. So I made up my mind that the following year, I was going to invite him.
And somebody said,
but unfortunately,
somebody said he told some people, I don't know if it's actually good to say this, that without him, I want you to be koko.
I've also heard that.
You heard that?
I've also heard that. He didn't say it to me, but I've also heard that. And I heard it from like 2 people, that he told them that. But then, it is what it is. Like I said, for me and him, we were very cool. Because like I said, we just met at events, and then we talked as if we have always been cool. And that was when he told me that he missed my event. And then that day I made up my mind that now I can invite him for my next show. But in fact, his father's burial, which he had in, I think, November, that particular night, that night that we saw, that was telling me about my event, he invited me, just told me about the burial, that we forward this thing to me. He sent it to me, but did not tell me that there was clothes. Okay. So on the day of the burial, I was there. I was outside. So I saw one of my colleagues from Radio Nigeria, Toby. I saw her outside, and I just stood there with her. We were just talk. We talk day before. Just say, me I come out. I was thinking I would come out, so that at least he will see me that I came. But unfortunately, did not come out, and that was how I left. And that would have been the last time that I saw him. So, and that was it.
Chairman, the Laughter Master.
Yeah.
When he came here and...
yes, I watched this interview.
Okay. You have some response?
Yes, Chairman was, like I said, when I was trying to start comedy then, I asked around. One of my Egbons, the one that I said saw me at Agdama Simba, Egbon Akin, that said, you are not looking good. He told me that there's a particular comedian in this Ibadan, that the only one comedian I know is Siama Laughter Master on BCOS. But when I saw him with his style, his costume, like I said, I'm a very shy person. I can't see myself doing that. So I did not even pursue going to meet him. But the only time we would have met, I'm sure Shaman must have forgot. He must have forgotten this particular part. Was when I was at Diamond FM. Diamond FM introduced me to a lot of comedians. I just called them. Martin comedian, I continue like, Guy Alpha, I'm having a comedy show on radio. Please be my guest. this is when we are recording, and they will always show up for me. Even Rems, Caliber of Better Memory, a lot of them, DVD, a lot of comedians in Lagos, they come for Rem's show, they come for my, so that was the drill. Once they appear on Rem's show at Pastor Mojalawiye's church, Laugh Out with Christ, we go straight to the studio to go and record for my own show. So that was what we all did. But Shaman was the only person that I called and turned me down.
But also pé àwọn everybody in support now.
No, I was not part of them. We were, like I said, I'm cool with anybody, but to say me man note here. To say me man note here, but I will not be okay. If I meet you for the first time, within the first 5-10 minutes, the first thing is mongo question, he like me, she like me. So when he like me, mo le jarun palu. When he like me, I maintain champion. So my first interaction with him did not go down well as well. I called him for my show. I have a radio show on Diamond FM. He said no problem. When are we having it? I told him the time on the day, and that time you book studio time. My show is 30 minutes per week, so they give me 1 hour to record, and they always give me a particular time. So hello sir, where are you? He said okay, it's today. I said yes. What time? I told him time. Okay, I'll be on my way now. How much are you paying me? I said, sir, it's just a radio show. It's not clinical. He said, so I should drive down from wherever I am to come and attend your show, and you will not pay me. To do what? If you can't pay me, I'm not coming. And he did not come. And my program failed that week. My program failed that because I missed my recording time, and he could not come, and my program failed. And when your program fails, you answer to Mrs. Sandra why your program failed. That gets me new. So I was pained, and that was why me too. I know since I never invite them to my show and into. But we are cool because we have a mutual friend, Thompson Lawyer. Thompson Lawyer na Sherman person, and me and Thompson Lawyer. In fact, he was my only roommate ever. That jogbeli da. He and Sherman were cool. Me and Sherman too were cool, but pé ká jọ feature àbí mo feature lórí stage àbí no, I don't do that because mi ò lówó tí mo fẹ́ fún wọn. Àwọn tí n bá ti lówó tí mo fẹ́ fún wọn, mi ní pè wọ́n. And that was how myself and Sherman. But like I said, he has always been there, and he has his style, he has his this thing, but me, I think, ẹ̀gbọ́n Sherman. Àjọ iṣẹ́ òpá pọ̀ rí.
Closing remark mi fún yín, advice ni, ẹni tó bá máa ga ẹsẹ̀ àtìrín. Gbogbo whatever challenges tẹ́ bá ti face, ó fi hàn pé ibì kan wà tó ga tí ẹ̀ ń gbé àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe yẹn lọ. Case a máa ń rub minds, case wa náà wà ń jọra wọn ká sọ pé àwọn fans olórin ká sọ pé olórin báyìí ló like kò like tiwa, ilé a sọ pé olórin báyìí ló like, ilé a sọ pé kò like ilé. So at the end of the day máa rí pé gbogbo olórin a sọ pé kò like principal wa, ó dẹ̀ pay yín ó pay mi tó máa sọ, but that means you're still maintaining some high level of neutrality. Tó bá di pé mo mọ àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣerú iṣẹ́ wa tó yẹ pé àwọn interviews tó ń ṣe ti mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń try láti ṣe PR fún artist kan ni, but kálukú ló mọ nǹkan tí ó bá dé ẹnu iṣẹ́, so ẹni tó bá máa ga ẹsẹ̀ àtìrín. MC ní yẹ pé nọ́mbà yín kún gbéṣẹ́ wa.
Ìyẹn ṣe pàtàkì o. 08162746129. 08162746129. Afouda Samuel on all platforms.
On all platforms.
Afouda ni o, ni Afouda yẹn, Afouda Samuel on all platforms.
MC. Iṣẹ́ mi wọlé ń ṣe polówó ara yín.
MC.
Yes.
Lawyer.
Ẹ ti mú lọ́lọ́kùnkún.
Mo ti mú lọ́lọ́kùnkún dùn.
Gbàgbé ẹ̀.
Oyin gbàgbé ìgbà tí mo wò pé ẹgbà mi kẹ́ kí ló fẹ́ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ n padà sí ọ̀dọ̀ ọkọ̀ àárọ̀ mi. Lawyer, MC, what's it called? Content creator. I write too, and of course I'm a media planner too. Tó bá rí pé I want to have a media whatever to plan it, I do that as well. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.